In this video, we will talk about Mercury in all 12 houses of your chart and your spouse and purpose of your life. So my beautiful ladies and my brothers, welcome back again to your favorite astrology channel, the one and only Jupiman Astrology.
Now guys, I would like to tell you before we move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation. Okay guys, so for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also.
Now let's talk about Mercury in the first house. Okay, so what will going to happen when Mercury is placed in the first house? So what does first house represent? First of all, if you see, first house represent our body. Okay, first house is our self, our identity, personality. First house is everything, right? First house is overall like everything in our life. And what is the Mercury? Mercury is the planet of intelligence, right? It is the planet of intelligence. It is the planet of intelligence. It is the planet of speech. It is the planet of calculation. It is the planet of logic. It is the planet of youthfulness, right? It is the planet which give us, which make us look younger. Okay. So first of all, you see, whenever you have Mercury in the first house, you will definitely going to look very younger. Okay, definitely, like you will see these people I have seen Mercury in the first house, they always look very young in comparison to their age. You see this guy, 42-year-old, Mercury in the first house, and I saw him literally look like 32. I was like, what the hell, you are 42? I see the chart, Mercury in the first house. Because Mercury is a Rajkumar, it has the ability to make you look younger. Okay, and first house Mercury, these people have, you will see, these people are very quick. Very quick. Okay. They have like definitely very, and like quickness inside their body, you will see, like somehow just very fast approaching, and they are very restless as well. You see the people like, for an example, you are going to immigration on airport, and on the immigration line, you find a guy or a girl who is very restless. They are just taking like turn around at their place. They are looking at the left, they are looking at the right. They are like, oh my God, how much time does it take? And this and that, shaking the hands. And they are like very restless. Just by observing these things, you can understand that most likely the Mercury in the first house. Okay, and they are very clever people. Mercury in the first house make them very cunning as well, right? Mercury in the first house can also, like, these people can somehow, like in a cunning way, somehow they convince their bosses as well. I have seen this. Until or unless Sun join here, because if Sun Mercury get together here, then things change. Then they will also have that ego and authority. But then if Sun is not here, generally Mercury alone or with other planet, you will see this restlessness, etc. can be there. Okay, even with Sun, I would say there is certain amount of restlessness, because then they will feel like, I'm authority. Why I should stand like this for a longer time? What the hell? Why the hell we are here? Right? Then Mercury in the first house again make these people very sharp-minded, witty person, youthful energy, very youthful approach in life. Then what you can see, they are very intelligent people. With Mercury in the first house, it makes them very intelligent. And I've also seen Mercury in the first house give you a very curious kind of a personality. Okay, it is a placement where Mercury, when placed in your first house, it make you a person who is like a lifelong student. Throughout the life, they just likes to be, they are like I love to study this and study that. Lifetime, they just keep studying about something, right? I have also seen with Mercury's in the first house, they had gifted with the speech and persuasion, right? They can't talk their way through many situations, right? Mercury in the first house, they have harmonious and they are very harmonious and witty by nature. Okay, They have natural charm in conversation. That can be seen. Mercury in the first house also show that they have flexible thinking, right? They are very adaptable. They are fast learner, but sometimes indecisive as well, right? Mercury in the first house, they have mimicking ability, right? They can quickly copy or learn from others. That can also be seen. Mercury in the first house also show that they will have dual personality traits, right? So if you have a Mercury in the first house, you will see that it can give you dual personality traits, especially if it's like a Gemini or Virgo sign, right? Then you will see that more. Uh, like they could have different faces to different people. With astrologer, they are doing astrology like talks, and on the other time they are sitting in the bar and just doing party and having a wine and whatever. So yeah, that can be seen, and also playing, also doing gambling at the same time. Who knows, right? So generally, you will see life purpose of these people with Mercury in the first house is to share knowledge, to communicate, to act as a messenger, right? These things can be seen. Then the struggle you see with Mercury in the first house people, they have mental overactivity struggle. Their mind is always somehow, as I told you, the restlessness is always going to be there. Okay, there will be some sort of nervous energy also sometime. They also get this anxiety from overthinking. And sometime if this Mercury is working in a negative way, or I would say that, let's say Rahu is transiting over this Mercury, or let's say some negative dashantar dasha is going on, then these people will get negative thoughts a lot, and then it's hard for them to control over their thinking. This I have also seen. Generally with Mercury in the first house, they, you will see these people have very youthful appearance, okay, and very nice voice. No matter what the age of this person is, Mercury in the first house make these people look very younger. The physical body moves with nervousness or speed. Okay? They are always on the go. You will see that. With Mercury in the first house, they are very excellent in communication based profession. Okay, so career path for them is generally Mercury. Whenever some planet sit in the first house, is definitely going to play in your, like a very important role in overall your life. So Mercury is in the first house, so definitely something like a communication based related field like marketing, journalism, teaching, writing, media, technology. These things can be seen. Analytical professions suit them very well when Mercury in the first house. So like data science, okay, auditing, coding, strategy, data analysis, these things can be good for them. Even astrology, because in this also you have to do analysis. But then for these field you have to see 8th house as well, because until a person have 8th house energy, he or she cannot go for occult or data analysis like field. Mercury in the first house also make a person entrepreneur minded. Okay, they can sell anything with their words. These are the people who sold Taj Mahal to some people. You know that. And these are all the also the people who can, they can sell comb to a bald person. Generally you will see these people can have the tendency to go for like self employment or multiple sources of income, because Mercury is versatile. Even if they are doing job, they would like to do something sideline, like for an example they are doing some kind of a work, okay, by which they make their own money. Their purpose of life is to build mental legacy by like tech, analyze and influence these things. They love that. You will see with Mercury in the first house, it make your approach very practical towards problem. You use logic over emotion to solve anything whenever you have Mercury in the first house. Whenever you have Mercury in the first house, your success increase after the age of 32. Okay? And also you will see maturity makes this Mercury more grounded here. So after the age of 32 you will start to see a little bit more maturity. You will see that these people with Mercury in the first house somehow involved in some communication based or teaching based work. I also want you guys to share your experience in the comment section, please. If you are watching this video, must comment what, like if you have this placement, must comment right there that your experiences, right? Now, I also would like to tell you, with Mercury in the first house, they generally attract very intelligent and talkative spouse. Someone who is like mentally stimulating for them. That is what attractive to them. And also their future spouse can be younger, witty, or into communication field. Although of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big pictures. Links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation from there, and I will help you out regarding that. But yeah, this I have seen generally. Then Mercury in the first house bring communication karma. Okay, so these people want their spouse or want a partner whom with they could have open dialogue in partnership. If Mercury is afflicted by Rahu or Saturn, then miscommunication, lies, sarcasm can harm your relationship. You have to be careful. Spouse can also be from different community or country, because Mercury like diversity. It's like a curious planet. Like, oh wow, you are from this place. You have this thing. Oh wow, something new, nice. So they get attracted towards that as well. But of course, for marrying a foreigner, you need to have certain combination. For that, full horoscope consultation is required. Now see, early life love relationships, sexual relation with different people before getting married are very common here. Okay, but generally their early life relationship break because of over analysis, because these people are very fast to jump into some relationship and then break up, of like having some affair, and then yeah, like come into the relationship and get the hell out of the relationship. This is what they do. They have very tendency to flirt, because Mercury is there, very flirty nature, or even entertain multiple conversation before settling. If Mercury is in dual sign, let's say Gemini or Virgo, if Mercury in the first house is in Gemini or Virgo, then your spouse can be dual natured or twin soul. Marriage is a very karmic for a person when Mercury here in the first house is conjunct with Venus or Sun. Okay, because then marriage will help you to, like I would say, you will in your marriage you help each other to grow mentally. Now see, when you have Mercury in the first house, your love language is words of affirmation and deep conversation. I've also seen these people, when you have Mercury in the first house, you get married to someone maybe via writing, text, teaching, online. Okay, due to these things you could meet. Spouse could be well skilled in education, finance, media, marketing. Also, marriage get better after second half of your life when you have Mercury in the first house. Then Mercury in the first house also show that you will earn income by your intellect, by using your brain, writing, public speaking, or trading. You can be good investor. Okay, because Mercury understand patterns. Mercury in the first house give gains if person serve other with intellect. Okay, Mercury in the first house, you must avoid arrogance or over analysis in money matters. Okay, whenever you have Mercury in the first house, I also say that your life purpose is somehow to learn, to teach, to collect, and to share information. Okay, and to connect these dots. Mercury in the first house also show that spiritual growth through detachment from ego and controlling speech will be there. Mercury in the first house also show that there will be a strong ability to become some kind of a counselor or even astrologer or healer. If let's say Mercury is connected to Ketu, Saturn, then these things are even more strong. Okay, generally they will be a Mercury in the first house. People can become an excellent student of Jyotish, mantra, and these things. Then Mercury in the first house, uh, it is advised that you must use your like good speech. Okay, never say anything bad about someone. Avoid lying, avoid gossiping, avoid mocking others when you have Mercury in the first house. Otherwise, you will get negative result of this Mercury if you do that. Right? So you must avoid lying, you must avoid gossiping, you must avoid mocking others. Mercury in the first house, certain remedies I would say, you should feed cows. Okay, maybe give something to parrots, right? To eat, green parrots especially. Okay, always avoid false promises or cheating someone. If you do the false promise, or if you say, hey, I will do this for you, and then you are not doing it, it's a horrible thing. You will destroy your Mercury. Avoid false promise, avoid cheating to anyone. Never do that. Help your younger siblings in any way. Okay. Generally, if Mercury is alone in the first house, so you can become writer, teacher, speaker, or connect into sales, media, marketing field. If Mercury is with the Sun, then this is a good combination. This can make you a government officer or a writer, or maybe a something in which you have to do calculative related hisab kitab type of work, in which you have to keep record of things, dealing with document, can even give you fame or connect you something with the government positions. Okay, that can be seen. So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the first house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Mercury in the second house. Mercury represent your intellect, your logic, your communication. Mercury is your intelligence, your learning ability. Okay. Mercury represent business, trade, travel, even to some extent technology also have Mercury role, because although for technology Rahu is important, then Mercury is important planet when it comes to your siblings, especially younger one, and friends. Mercury is your ability to adapt, your adaptability. Mercury also is a planet which represents speech and humor. And what does second house represent? Second house is the house of finance, saving, material possessions, family. Okay, second house represent our speech. Second house is the house of our face. Second house also represent our communication style and voice. Second house is the house of value. What you value in your life, you can see from the second house. Second house also represent your food habits. Second house also talk about your self-worth and values. Okay, so what's going to happen when planet like Mercury is going to sit into this second house? So Mercury when sit in the second house, it give you a sharp intelligence, especially in money matters. Okay, so it give you very sharp intelligence, especially in money matters, speech, and communication. Okay, it will make you a person who are naturally very good speakers. Okay, Mercury in the second house make you a person naturally good speaker, as well as a good negotiator, a very good orator, a good diplomat. All this is seen when Mercury come to the second house. Okay, you can say when Mercury come to the second house of a person, their words kind of become their wealth, or they can earn wealth through their words. Okay, Mercury in the second house can also be found in the people who are somehow, although communication is important everywhere, like for an example, people who are doing, let's say, podcast. So Mercury in the second, Mercury in the third could play a very important role in their life. Mercury when come into the second house, it also show that you have strong emphasis on mental security over your emotion. Okay, Logic is more powerful for them in comparison to emotion. They give more importance to logic, or I should rather say. Mercury in the second house when come, so the purpose of your life revolve around communication, which you use as a tool to build your value and security. Mercury in the second house also show that you love collecting knowledge about languages, finance, music, or even ancient text. Mercury in the second house also show that you may develop early interest in public speaking, journalism, copywriting. Okay, so this is also you can see. Then Mercury here, when come to the second house, Mercury sharp the ability to learn quickly, right, and express ideas very cleverly. So Mercury when come into the second house, definitely you will see it will give you, or anyone who have Mercury in the second house, it will give them a special ability that they can learn things very quickly, and they can express those things in a very clever way, right? Like for an example, you see there is a guy or a girl who can literally read the same thing, and the way they can explain it's really a great way, right? So that is also the Mercury in the second house. This placement of Mercury in the second house definitely give you monetary gains through intellectual work like writing, teaching, trade, marketing, right? That can be seen. Mercury when come into the second house, it show that your purpose of life involve transforming words or ideas into money. Mercury in the second house show that there will be a strong potential for you to become financial advisor, or you can also become some kind of a consultant, or even a digital entrepreneur. Mercury in the second house also show that your career growth comes from networking, verbal influence, and media presence. Okay, so if you have Mercury in the second house, always remember, for growth in your life you have to somehow do networking, or even now in today's day and age you should go online. Whenever you have Mercury in the second house, try to do some digital work. Whatever profession you are in, you can connect it to online. Let's say if you have a store, for an example you sell paintings, and you are a very traditional person, and you just like people came to your store, they buy it. So if you have Mercury in the second house, it's really a great idea that you put those, take the picture of those painting and put them online. Maybe you will get more sales, most likely you will get it because of this Mercury in the second house. Mercury in the second house also give you a very strong voice. Okay, you will see that your public speaking, singing, right, influence can definitely bring income in your life. So maybe you can also become some kind of influencer with Mercury in the second house. I also want you guys to share your experience in the comment section with this placement, so that I can also see like how things are working in your chart. I have also seen people with Mercury in the second house generally do well in the telecom sector, in the commerce sector, in the finance, in the linguistic, language related sectors, stock market, even to some extent. I have seen again and again people with Mercury in the second house involved in stock market. Right, I have seen that. Mercury in the second house also show that business success through advertising, e-commerce, or digital communication can also be seen. Okay, if Mercury is placed in the second house and let's say it is afflicted, so you can waste money in your life on things like gossip or some kind of a speculation you do on which you waste your money. With Mercury in the second house, it reflect that it make you a very smart person, it make you a very talkative person, it make you a person with witty family background, right? I've seen that with Mercury in the second house, you can grow up in a family where education and cleverness were emphasized. Okay? Mercury in the second house also show that siblings may play a vital role in communication. Mercury in the second house also show that maybe your siblings could play a vital role in shaping your value system. Okay? Mercury in the second house also show that your family environment uh, could have people with humor. Like for example, someone in your family is very humorous, very funny, talkative. Someone likes to tell stories. Someone could speak different languages. That can also be seen with Mercury in the second house. If Mercury is afflicted in the second house, or maybe let's say highly combust or even afflicted, then you can expect that in the childhood maybe it had given you some kind of a delay in speaking, or maybe some Mercury related problem. Mercury in the second house also show that your life purpose include refining family values through practical communication. Okay? Then when you have Mercury in the second house, your spouse is likely to be very intellectual. Okay, you will marry someone who can be very intellectual, very clever, right? And I would say very witty person. Even someone who is very curious, very well spoken type of spouse. But then again, we have to see other things as well. We have to see which planets are there in their eighth house, sorry, in your eighth house, in your seventh house, okay, and thousand other things. For that, full horoscope consultation is required. If you want to purchase consultation, links are in comment section and description. Now, marriage also bring financial intelligence to you with Mercury in the second house. Also, you will see Mercury in the second house show that your marriage, like you are likely to marry someone who values maybe education, commerce, digital work. Okay. Also with Mercury in the second house, maybe romantic conversation, funny teasing of each other, youthfulness, mental stimulation. These things could play a very important role in relationship. Communication will be very important in your relationship if Mercury is there. If let's say Mercury is highly afflicted in the second house, then it can also show that you could have arguments with your spouse or ego based issues with your spouse. And that is why sometime I've seen Mercury in the second house could also create problems in your first relationship or even first marriage. Okay, if it's afflicted here. Now future spouse with Mercury in the second house may be working in banking, teaching, IT or trade. Although again, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. You will also see with Mercury in the second house, you can even get a younger looking spouse. Okay? Or a youthful spouse. Then with Mercury in the second house, it also show that your purpose of life is to build a practical life with an intellectual partner. Okay? Mercury in the second house also show that your spouse may help you like to organize wealth, speak wisely, or manage resources. Mercury in the second house also show that marriage helps to stabilize your communication pattern, and even if let's say you feel very nervous sometime, so this could marriage could even help you in calming your nervous energy. Sometime when people have Mercury in the second house, they could do some kind of a work with their spouse, like starting a podcast with the spouse nowadays, or something with their spouse they do. When Mercury in the second house is unafflicted, these people are like good traders generally. Okay? Let me tell you some remedies. When you have Mercury in the second house, and let's say you are giving false promises, you do a lot of false promise to someone. Oh, I will do this, I will do that. That's a false promise you are doing. you will naturally destroy your Mercury here. Not only you will face Mercury related speech problem, but also wealth problem. So never do fake promises when you have Mercury in the second house. Okay. Also for I would say, if you want to do some remedy also to improve this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green, green grass, green chara. In India you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. um Also, I would say one more remedy you will see if you are facing problem with public interaction and you are thinking your deals are not working. You can try this remedy, that you can keep a green handkerchief in your pocket while you are in public, or you are giving interview, you are going a job interview, you are cracking a meeting in the or sorry, you are in a meeting or you are cracking a deal. You can keep a green hanky, a green color handkerchief in your pocket, and if things goes well, then you can keep it every time when you are doing something important. Okay. Then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, five kids which are female, right? Which like five, at least five female kids which are less than 9 year old, less than 9 year old. You do Kanya Pujan, like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga. They do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home, and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least five female kids which are less than 9 year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot, a lot. Okay. Also avoid green color in your bedroom. Okay, don't use green curtains, don't use green bed sheet, don't use green color on your wall when you have Mercury in the second house. So yeah, these remedies would definitely help you. Mercury in the second house, I've also seen these people learn very fast, and these people prefer reading aloud generally. Okay, and even teaching other, or even good group discussion, these people prefer. These people are very curious about making money hacks. Okay. Also, I've seen these people can be good in marketing tricks or language mastery. These people are often gifted in poetry or mimicry or voiceover or lyrical expression, right? Mercury in the second house also show that their purpose involve preserving and transmitting valuable knowledge or skills to other. Mercury in the second house also show that these people are inclined towards speech therapy, language coaching, or even AI related fields in today's day and age. Okay. Generally, these people definitely have these habits like storytelling or reading some books, etc., or even watching interviews, writing blogs, right? These things you can generally see with people who have Mercury in the second house. So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the second house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about Mercury in third house. So first of all, what does Mercury represent? Mercury represent our intelligence. Mercury is our intellect and knowledge. Mercury represent communication. Mercury is your learning ability. Mercury is a planet of business and trade. Mercury in a way can also be seen with travel, although for travel, Moon and other planet play their role. Mercury is also nowadays technology, especially like media, gadgets, etc. Right? In that way, Mercury has very important role. Although other technology has Rahu dominance. Then Mercury is also like represent your friends and siblings, especially the younger one. Then Mercury is like your adaptability. Mercury is your speech and humor and thousand other things. And what does third house represent? Third house is the house of sales, media, marketing, communication. Okay. Third house is the house of in a way traveling. Third house also represent living away from your home because it's 12th from the 4th. Third house is your neighbor. Third house is connected to online activities, social media, etc. Third house is your younger siblings and thousand other things. So what's going to happen when a planet like Mercury is going to sit in your third house? So first of all, when Mercury sit in the third house, it give you a communication, logical, sharp and very intellectually curious mind. Okay? And your soul journey is to learn, to connect and influence through communication. Right? That is what your soul journey is when you have Mercury in the third house. Mercury in the third house, I've seen naturally it make you a writer, a speaker, a teacher, a communicator, or someone who connect people with each other. Your life purpose with Mercury in the third house somehow revolves around ideas. Okay, siblings, neighbors, networking, courage. Mercury in the third house will give you special abilities that if this person Mercury is working in a good way, then this person could be a devotee of goddess Durga. Okay, if you are a devotee of goddess Durga, which means that Mercury is giving you good results. Okay. Then Mercury in the third house, it also show that like Mercury here suggests that your life purpose is linked to communication and expression. Like you may involve in things like writing, blogging, marketing, public speaking. Okay, these are your karmic field with Mercury in the third house. Then with Mercury in the third house, your soul is meant to learn through conversation, short travels and intellectual risks. With Mercury in the third house, you must develop clarity in thoughts and avoid gossips, restlessness and over analysis of things. Okay, Mercury here in the third house indicate that you are here to inspire other through your idea, through your humor, through your intellect. Right? When you have Mercury in the third house, it will make you a person who may be called to bridge two cultures, language or mentalities together. Especially when Mercury here is in dual sign. Right? Because it make you a very curious person. Then, or I would say inquisitive as well. Mercury in the third house also show that you will generally with these people with Mercury in the third house have a very strong communication skills. But if let's say planet like Saturn is aspecting this Mercury, then what happen is generally I have seen at the early age when they were kid, they generally don't speak much. Their communication skills will not come out. But as they grow in their life, as they enter into 20s, they start to have like people start to notice their communication skills, and when they reach in their 30s, they will have excellent communication skills because ultimately Mercury gave them. But because Saturn is aspecting it, so at the at the child age, right, or teenage, Saturn is just holding that Mercury, and slowly as their age grows, Saturn start to lose the grip, and now the Mercury communication will come. Okay, so that's why these people can get into journalism, media, publishing or teaching. This Mercury can even make them quick learner. Okay, It can give you a sharp tongue. You can influence others. Okay, and even these people will manipulate others. They have this ability. Mercury in the third house have natural talent in things like mimicry, acting, comedy, or even satire. Mercury in the third house also show that your life purpose involve expressing your thoughts into action. Okay, that can be seen. Mercury in the third house even indicate frequent traveling. So these people generally likes traveling. These people like changes, traveling. Generally, I've seen that. Okay, and somehow they likes to, like, it may possible again. For certain people, maybe early you don't like traveling, and then you like so much traveling, like you just want to travel. Okay, travel become, I would say, a way by which you develop in your life. Also, when you travel, and this travel not only mean only short distance travel, because people think Mercury in the third only short distance travel. No, it's away. It's 12th from the 4th. So if let's say some other planet 12th lord or ninth lord is also playing the role, that they can even go to foreign lands, and while traveling they may meet their karmic people in their life, whom with they could have a past life connection. Even their spouse you could meet during traveling, although for that full horoscope consultation is required. We have to see other thing as well. So links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase consultation. Also, you will see with Mercury in the third house, you may also have a life path involving documentation or reporting of real life experiences. So these are the people who can do things like vlogging, travel vlogging, traveling and documenting their journey. That is what travel vlogging is. So yeah, Mercury in the third house also show you will have close karmic connection with your siblings and cousins, especially the younger one, even the neighbor. Okay, Mercury in the third house people can sometime, I have seen, they could have affair in their neighbor, or someone they like, someone, some girl or a boy or a woman or a man living in their neighborhood. So these people can even prone to have, or I would say generally inclined to have like affairs in the neighbor, some women living or some men living or some boy living or some girl living in their neighborhood or next to their home. They generally like that person. They start to feel that sexual pull towards that person, because it's a karma house represent that, right? It's the first karma house of love, romance, sexual pleasures. So yeah, you will also see this, that in their neighborhood there's a tendency to do flirt. Okay, so yeah, that can be seen. Also, you will see with Mercury in the third house, their purpose may involve helping a younger sibling. Okay, that can be seen. If Mercury is afflicted in the third house, then misunderstanding or jealousy with the sibling can be possible. Then Mercury in the third house also show that it naturally, regardless of everything, Mercury in the third house naturally make you a gifted orator, a good speaker, an excellent person who can do excellent debates. Okay, that's naturally your gift. Your words can powerful, right? They have very powerful vibration. You can attract people with your speech. Negative Mercury in the third house can give you habit of lying, can give you gossip habit, can give you cunningness. Okay, Mercury in the third house also show that you can also use your speech to uplift other, to motivate other. Okay, rather than just using it for your personal gain by doing manipulation. No, you can also use it in a positive way to motivate other. These are the people, if let's say someone is going to do some negative stuff with their life, they can go there and motivate that person in such a way that that person, even in the worst time, feel like he or she is having a new life with their with these people's communication or these people speech. Okay, so that is the power they have. Mercury in the third house also show that like your communication style in a married life, how it is going to be. So definitely you will see that whether they or their spouse will somehow be witty, intelligent, youthful, especially if let's say this Mercury is your seventh lord, Darakarka, or somehow making connection with spouse, then spouse would be very witty, intelligent, have youthful energy, mentally very active person. Okay, These people have in their romantic love life love letter, texting, online stuff, sharing thought, romantic communication is there in their language, love language. Okay. And in their marriage also there could be a role of online communication. They could meet on social media, on Instagram or maybe Telegram or wherever, like they could meet online, or maybe they could have affair or marriage with someone who live in their neighborhood, as I mentioned earlier, or during traveling they could also meet your spouse, right? Generally I've seen this. If Mercury is strong, then definitely mental compatibility will be good with the spouse. Then if let's say this Mercury is afflicted, then in marriage there will definitely be overthinking, some argument. Okay. One remedy I would like to tell you: when you have Mercury in the third house, you should never interfere in your younger sibling married life. Otherwise, you will face problem in your own married life. Always remember this remedy. When you have Mercury in the third house, and let's say you have a younger sibling, even if you don't have a younger sibling, let's say you have a younger cousin, okay, you should never interfere in their life. You should not, like, you should let them do how they want to live their life. Just never interfere. Okay, if you interfere in your younger sibling life and you have Mercury in the third house, definitely you are going to have like you will have a lot of issues, I'm telling you, in your married life. So yeah, with Mercury in the third house, your spouse could be involved in writing, media, commerce, teaching. That can be possible. He or she could be younger, witty or dual nature person, especially if this Mercury is somehow connected with the seventh lord or Dharakarka. Okay, but of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. For that, links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. Then Mercury here in the third house try to teach you lessons, right, where you have to balance your intellect with your intuition. Okay, because if you use too much logic in everything, that will block your spiritual growth. Spiritual growth come through bhakti in words, mantras, chanting, and silence retreats. Your purpose of life is to create awareness through speech and uplift community consciousness. Then Mercury in the third house also show that your ideal field is media, PR, blogging, advertising, digital marketing, okay, commerce, language, right? Even like language learning, foreign languages, law, sales, writing. Okay, although for law we have to see other things as well, but all these fields related to media, etc., are good for you. A strong Mercury when placed in the third house, it will give you like multiple sources of income. Mercury here also give you tendency to change your profession, change your business. You jump from one to another. That can also be seen. Okay, your life purpose, like it will give you a mentality like you would like to monetize everything, like make money from everything in your life. That can also be seen. Worshipping Lord Vishnu or especially the goddess Durga here is really a great idea. If you worship goddess Durga, also if you do Kanya Pujan, after praying to goddess Durga in India, we do Kanya Pujan, in which we we offer something to the girls who are less than 9 year old, and we touch their feet, we do their tilak and take the girls' blessings which are less than 9 year old, which is known as Kanjika Pujan or Kanya Pujan. If you do that, then this Mercury is going to give you excellent result, right? So it's really important. If you pray to the goddess Durga, that's again a great remedy. Then again, podcast related work you can also do here. Okay. Generally, you will feel attracted towards mentally stimulating partner. The people who are mentally good with you are really important for you. Maybe you likes traveling, etc. So you fall in love with someone while traveling or attending some seminar, or maybe while on some online platform, or maybe attending a course. You like a student, so that can be seen. Then Mercury in the third house, definitely if it's giving you negative result, you are facing loss in the business, etc., then of course you should feed birds every day. It's a great idea. Also giving less than 9 year old girls okay, which are kids. You touch their feet, take their blessing, and gift them pen, pencil, green pen, such thing. If you gift them green marker right on Wednesday, it's going to give you excellent results. So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the third house. If you want consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. So what will happen when Mercury is placed in the fourth house? First of all, what does fourth house represent? Fourth house is the house of like your home. It represents your mother. It is your homeland. It is your comfort. It is actually the peace of mind also. Right? Whenever fourth house get afflicted, the person literally doesn't get peace of mind at his home. So fourth house is really important because it represents your vehicle. It's actually a sukhasthana, right? So that is why it's one of the most important houses. Now when it comes to Mercury, what does Mercury represent? Mercury is a planet. Mercury is a planet which represent your intellect, your logic, your communication, your learning ability. Mercury represent business, trade, technology, in a way travel. I mean the online stuff, social media, etc. That's what I mean by technology. Mercury also represent your younger sibling as well as your friends, right? Mercury is your ability to adapt at different situation. Mercury is your humor and speech as well. So when such planet is sitting into the fourth house, which is Mercury, so first of all, what it's going to do is that it's going to make you highly like I would say deeply emotionally intelligent, but it also make you mentally very restless in your domestic life. Okay, Mercury in the fourth house make you naturally a counselor kind of a person. When you have Mercury in the fourth house, your life purpose may involve teaching, writing, or even psychology. Your mind is always connected with roots. Okay, your mind is always connected with motherland, emotion, and history. The fourth house is your Sukhasthana, Sukh Bhava. So when Mercury is in the fourth house, your mission is to create intellectual happiness for yourself as well as for others. When you have Mercury in the fourth house, it shows that you are destined to bring knowledge to your family. You may even act as a brain of your lineage, right? That can be seen. Mercury in the fourth house also show that you can channel emotions through writing, speaking, or mentally creativity. Your life purpose often linked to communication. Okay. Mercury in the fourth house also show that your real purpose get triggered when you use intellect to resolve emotion, social, or I would say family problems. Mercury, when placed into the fourth house, I've also seen with this Mercury in the fourth house, you often act as a healer. Okay, that can also be seen. Like for an example, you will try to understand someone's situation. Okay, by using your communication or your wisdom, you can even kind of act as a healer. Actually, you will try to give advice to the people using your intelligence. Okay, so yeah, that can be seen. Mercury in the fourth house also show you may become spiritual writer, even I would say vastu experts. Okay, especially in terms of writing or teaching about them. Even motivational speaker can also be seen, especially in your mid 30s. You can enter into these fields also. Although of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. But yeah, still these things can be seen. Mercury here in the fourth house can give you a mission to create intellectual space of peace. Like for an example, you may create a home, NGO, school, or even a learning institute. Mercury in the fourth house show that you will have strong emotional bond with your mother. Okay, I've also seen sometime Mercury in the fourth house, your mother could be very well educated and she could be mentally very sharp lady. Okay, very clever kind of a woman. Mercury in the fourth house also show that your mother influence will deeply shape your communication style and moral values. Okay. Generally, I've seen these people with Mercury in the fourth house. They likes to study a lot. Like they even if they don't do the regular study, they like to study different kind of a book. Like they have different, like it depends upon what they want. But sometimes, let's say it's a normal child, so they would like to study artificial intelligence, coding, money, finance. Like they likes to do study, right? Read, write. Okay, even some kind of a trading they could do from their home. Mercury in the fourth house show that you could have a dual nature. Okay, that can be possible. Mercury in the fourth house show that your home may become a place for learning, teaching, or freelancing. Okay. So from your home you can be learning different courses, studying. Also, you are teaching online. You are doing freelancing stuff. Mercury in the fourth house can even, like I have seen, these people can even change their houses a lot in their life. Especially in the Dashantardash of Mercury, they likes to change their houses. Okay, that can be seen. Or like they could have like for an example, they would like to live in an area where there could be different language speaking people live. Or some kind of a multilingual kind of a place their home has. Okay. Also, you will see Mercury when it plays in the fourth house, you are destined to balance your logic and emotion within the family dynamics. I have also seen when Mercury is in the fourth house, these people love the collection of books or the collection of tech gadgets. Maybe they have collection of old documents, memory, antiques, that can be seen. Mercury in the fourth house, it show that you will have emotional intelligence and psychological awareness. Okay, that can be seen. Mercury in the fourth house also show that your spouse is often well educated, very witty person, communicative, right? Or even maybe spouse could be related to education or media profession. Marriage can happen through social circle, online meeting, intellectual connection, or I would say there will be a curiosity towards each other. Okay. Your communication style heavily affect your quality of marriage when you have Mercury in the fourth house. Although full horoscope consultation is required because we have to see other things as well, like how this Mercury is making connection with Dhara Karka, seventh lord, Venus, etc., or Mars or Jupiter. So for that, full horoscope consultation is required. If you want to purchase the consultation, links are in comment section and description. Now, Mercury in the fourth house also show that argumentative or overly logical nature of you may cause emotional distance in marriage. So you have to be careful in that. Mercury in the fourth house means you need a spouse who value intellectual companionship over physical beauty. Mercury in the fourth house, your spouse could be emotionally detached but mentally very stimulating for you. Mercury in the fourth house also show that your home is full of books, tech devices, language learning tools, etc. If Mercury is afflicted in the fourth house, spouse could be very overly critical, secretive, or emotionally unavailable. Yeah, okay. Like, see, for marriage improvement, if you face problem with Mercury in the fourth house, you should learn to express your emotion without overthinking. Okay. Mercury in the fourth house, if it's afflicted, you should take always the blessings of your sister. Always give gift to your sister. Okay, never create problem of your sister. Also taking blessings of the girls who are below 9 years of the age. So because we do the Kanya Pujan, right? So in that we pray, like I would say, what's the procedure? Simply you bring probably around 5 girls, at least 5 girls whose age are below 9. You invite them to your home and you touch their feet and they put their hands on your head. They give you blessings, God bless you or whatever, and you give them something to eat, like you give them good chocolates and you give them some stationery item as a gift, and take the blessings of the girls, right, which are below 9 year of age, between 0 to 9. So you touch their feet, you give them like chocolates, and as well as you can give them some things like pencil, pen, sharpener, colors, right, crayons, colors, pencil color, whatever you can afford. You can even make a proper kit and give that kit in which there's pen, pencil, etc., color, etc., to each girl, to the each of 5 girls. This is an excellent remedy for Mercury. Okay, and you just give them this to at least these 5 girls. You give each of them this kit or pencil box, and as well as chocolates on Wednesday, any Wednesday, and you touch their feet and take blessings, right, like Indians do namaste after that, and then they leave your home by giving you blessings. So it's in that way you can improve Mercury in an amazing way. This is an excellent remedy of Mercury. Okay, even I would say, if you have a sister or like any girls that below 9 year of age, you can give them something like pen, pencil, notebook, chocolates, toffees, right, and take their blessings. Keep doing that maybe once in a month on any Wednesday. It's an excellent remedy, because the blessings of those girls which are below 9, you touch their feet, you take their blessings, and in that way you like because the girls who are below 9, they represent the planet Mercury. Okay, so if you take their blessings, it's an excellent. And your sister is also Mercury for you, so never create problem for your sister. Always try to help your sister, maybe give her gift. So you're doing these remedies is excellent, right? Then when you have Mercury in the 4th house, so you can get a good success in the field like related to teaching, content writing, astrology, vastu, psychology, even translation related field, finance, IT. Mercury in the 4th house, your financial growth generally linked to your own homeland, home based business these people can do, or even in communication field. Sometime I've also seen these people can earn from some document related to real estate, coaching from home, selling education material, or doing something like a license based business. They could do some kind of a licensing stuff, or I would say any kind of a commission based work, right? Generally their life purpose is somehow related to license, document, family legacies, teaching. These things can be seen. If Mercury is exalted in the 4th house or is with the benefics, then definitely it can even make you author, researcher, something related to education. Okay, generally here even it can even make you jack of all trades. These people have lot of energy into different field. Okay. Also you will see with Mercury in the 4th house, you must avoid overthinking, overanalysis, gossip, overthinking. These things will block your destiny. Okay, always remember that. Mercury in the 4th house also show that emotional detachment and mental balance is a part of your journey. You can use your intellect, your knowledge to help someone with this Mercury in the 4th house. One more remedy you can do for Mercury in the 4th is feeding the cows on Wednesday or on any day. You can give them some green stuff to eat, right? Anything which is green that they eat to cows. It's really a great remedy again for the Mercury, along with the one which I told you earlier. So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the 4th house. I hope this helped. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Now let's talk about Mercury in the 5th house. So what's going to happen when Mercury is placed into the 5th house? So, first of all, what does 5th house represent? Just think about it. 5th house is the house which represent your, love affairs, your children. It's your intelligence. It's your creativity. It's the house of speculative business. Okay, whatever speculation you do, whether you make a movie, that is also a speculation, or whether you invest money in stock market, this is also 5th house. And thousand other things are represented by 5th house. And what does Mercury represent? Mercury is your intelligence. Mercury is your communication, your learning ability, your intellect, your logic, travel in a way is also Mercury. Business, trade, technology like social media, etc. is Mercury. Okay? Your sibling, your friends, your ability to adapt as per different situation is also Mercury. Mercury is humor and speech, etc. And thousands of other things are represented your by Mercury, and even your youthful nature is also Mercury. So what's going to happen when such planet is sitting into this fifth house, which is Mercury? So first of all, you will see when you have Mercury in the fifth house, your purpose of life revolve around creativity, intellect, and expression. Mercury here in the fifth house give you a very curious, a very playful, and a very analytical type of mind, especially towards art, romance, children, and speculative field. Mercury in the fifth house show that you are here to learn through love, okay, and intellectually guide others. Mercury in the fifth house also show that your life mission often involve education, counseling, or youth related work. Mercury in the fifth house give you the ability to turn your ideas into art or even writings, public expression. Mercury when placed in the fifth house, generally you will find one thing, that these people are very gifted in performing arts, acting, singing, storytelling, poetry, mimicry, writing scripts. Okay? These things can be seen. Mercury and placed into the fifth house, you will see these people are involved in some kind of a these kind of a stuff. Also, you will see Mercury in the fifth house. It also show that your hobby become your medium for karmic evolution. Mercury in the fifth house also show that you can become an excellent educator, astrologer, writer, dramatist, or media personality. Mercury in the fifth house can also show that you can be highly talented into the games of mind, puzzle, chess, such games, debating, or even teaching kids. Okay? See, you will also see that fifth house is the house of our passion. And when Mercury is placed into the fifth house, these people are likes to, like whenever they do something that they really feel amazing. Okay, they really mentally they feel amazing in like doing their passionate things. Or you can say in this way that Mercury related things are somehow connected to their passion. Okay, whatever you are passionate about, that's fifth house. So also you will see, because when Mercury sit into the fifth house, its seventh aspect fall directly opposite to the 11th house. So this person who have Mercury in the fifth house, most definitely you are going to see that this guy or a girl is going to is this person has the ability to make money through their passion, like whether they like writing, dancing, or whatever. They can make money through their passion because Mercury is in the fifth house. Okay. So yeah, that can also be seen. Now, see, their profession can be anything. But even if they are doing other profession, sidewise they have this ability to make money through their passion. Okay. When you have Mercury in the fifth house, you are deeply karmically connected at least one you will definitely have at least one intelligent child, I would say. Okay. Mercury here also show that maybe you will have a very friendly parenting approach towards your child. Okay, these people generally I have seen, they treat their child as their friends, because when planet of friendship, which is Mercury, is sitting into the fifth house of child, so they likes to be the friend of their child. They are the ones like at the young age, they are like, hey my boy, do you have a girlfriend? Hey my daughter, do you have a boyfriend? Even in the taboo society, you will find such parents who have Mercury in the fifth house, because they would like to be like their friends. They want to show to their kids that I am your friends. That's how naturally they are. Okay, I'm just giving you one example. They could have other things as well, right? They are like, for an example, a guy have this combination Mercury in the fifth house. He would be like, my son, what do you say? Let's skip your school today, right? Oh, dad, my mom will get angry. Oh, not a problem, we will do some kind of a, you know, these father who have Mercury in the fifth house, they likes to, you know, have fun with their kids, and they helped in their kids in some time, you know, making excuses and taking an off from the school for a couple of days. That can be seen. Okay, and maybe their wife don't like it, but they likes to do it with their kids so that they can have fun, like they want their kid to have fun. I've also seen that, right? So you will also notice with Mercury in the fifth house, they will have very friendly parenting approach also. I have also seen their life transform after their first child get born in their life with Mercury in the fifth house. Okay, you will also see these people who have Mercury in the fifth house. Let me tell you a very amazing, stunning prediction no one ever told you. When certain planet, which I would like to keep it hidden right now, when that planet get involved with this Mercury, which I don't want to reveal, otherwise people get panicked. So I have seen Mercury in the fifth house and that planet somehow making connection, whether by aspect, trine or conjunction. These people are the ones who also have illegitimate child sometime. Okay, not the single Mercury, but certain planets when make connection. What happen is, generally I have seen this thing again and again, whenever certain planet make connection with this Mercury, so they will find a girl in some foreign country or somewhere far away which love them, and then that girl get pregnant, and this guy would like to stay away. Most likely I've seen this for the guys who have this combination, like not only the single Mercury, but when it conjunct with other planet. So they have relationship and the girl get pregnant, and they just don't want to have kid with that girl, so the girl give kids to their birth, so they have illegitimate child, these people. Also I have seen with certain planets, they met lovers in their life. These boys who have this combination Mercury with certain other planet here, not only the single Mercury, along with other planet, many time I have seen they met a girl who fall in love with them, and that girl, especially in western country, these things also common, but I have seen these examples even people of all around the world, including India and Asian guys as well, who travel to certain country, and some girl, like for an example, even I have seen nowadays, like a girl fall in love with these guys, and that girl loved this guy so much that she want to have kid with this guy, and she said, I don't care, even if you leave me, I want to have a kid with you, which is like a love, I don't know what they call that, a love symbol or something. And then she gave birth to this child, and this guy later get married to some other girl, right? And you know, so this Mercury when make connection with certain planet, it even make the combination of illegitimate child as well. Okay, but single Mercury cannot do that, but other planets here, which I do not want to reveal here on YouTube, would do that. I've seen that again and again. So yeah, this is one of those combination of having hidden child or illegitimate, especially you have to see other planets. So yeah, I remember that I've seen such charts, so it just came on my mouth. Also you will see these people generally, their child are generally very Mercurian quality, like child, witty, talkative, intelligent, right? And you will also see with Mercury in the fifth house, purpose of their life is including understanding emotional intelligence through romantic experiences that can be seen. Mercury in the fifth house also show that you might have multiple romantic relationships, especially in your youth. Okay, so even I have seen, depending upon, as I mentioned earlier, somehow, especially for the guy, you know, I have seen this again and again, the girls fall in love with them, even the foreign girls, rich girls likes to like this guy and give that him money and want to travel with her, and I have seen this again and again. So yeah, multiple relationship are generally expected because Mercury is always a curious person. Okay, and when it sit into the fifth house of love affairs, definitely going to give you many love affairs, especially before you get married. Okay, after marriage it's rare, but before marriage, but even though nowadays depend upon dasha antardasha. Okay, but before marriage I have seen many affairs these guys have, and due to which, if certain planets play their role, they could also have a legitimate child secretly hidden somewhere in the world. Love life often very playful, very experimental, and full of mental stimulation. That can also be seen. These people are attracted to witty, clever and youthful partners generally. Okay. You will also see sometime delay or confusion in settling down in the life can be seen because of Mercury duality. These are the people who even settle in foreign country if they have certain combination. Even then they come back to their homeland. They are like, oh, the life here is so better, but I am having the good life there as well where I am living. Oh, what will going to happen when I have the last time of my life? Oh, I will not be here with my family member. Oh, but if I keep living here, then this is going to happen. That, oh my god, analysis and paralysis is going on about different situation. These people who have Mercury in the fifth house, I have seen this again and again. So that is why, because it's a dual nature, right? And Mercury sitting into the fifth house and on their mind, so they always have this back and forth energy where they are just, especially I've seen this, like whenever they try to settle in different place, there's somehow mental chaos is always going on. But if let's say planet like Saturn is in the 12th, or certain combination first in the 12th is there, so their karma is connected to foreign land, so they have to go there. The destiny will force them. Okay. But of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. Future spouse of these people may be younger, very smart, communicative, or mentally very agile. That can be seen. When Mercury is in the fifth house, the possibility of love marriage is very high. Okay. Often with someone from education or artistic background. That can also be seen. Right. Also, you will see with Mercury in the fifth house, marriage is built on mental compatibility, humor, shared creative goals. Okay. And your partner may be involved in writing, teaching, social media, or journalism. That can be seen. Now, if his Mercury is afflicted, right, then Mercury here can cause communication issues, or generally it will give them a flirtatious nature, or their partner can also be flirtatious. But then for that, we have to see if Mercury has connection with Dara Karka, 7th Lord, and Venus, etc. Okay. I've also seen sometimes spouse can also be moody and a bit friendly. That can be seen. Okay. Sometimes this Mercury can also give you ego issues with your partner. Okay. Or some child related disputes in life. That can also be seen. Generally, you will see in the family, this person enjoy being the center of attention. This person is good at organizing family functions, bringing humor and joy. Okay. You will also see generally their mother can play an important role in their early education. They try to create, like I would say, a very vibrant, playful household. Okay, that can also be seen with Mercury in the fifth house. Then with Mercury in the fifth house, generally in the early age they were a good student until or unless some malefics like Rahu, etc. is playing their role here. Okay. You will also see they enjoy learning interactive and a playful ways. Okay. You will also see these people are interested in things like mathematics, language, learning new language, communication, astrology, literature. You know, if you feel that you are lacking the peace in life and you have Mercury in the fifth house, so you must learn to have balance between logic and emotions. That's really important. Okay. Generally, the best suited career for these guys are media, education, journalism, creative writing, digital marketing, script writing, comedy, children related work. Okay, that can be seen, or they could work in some company which is associated with these field, or they can also earn from things like YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer, content creation. They could also be into trading, okay, investing, speculation. Or maybe they could be dealing in things like stationery, books, education tools for children, right? Or some kind of a product which is related to children. If Mercury is horribly placed here or malefically destroyed by malefics here, then these people could have issues related to anxiety, confusion in life, nervousness. Okay. The person have too much distraction in their life, due to which they lack focus, especially in their love life, because they would like to go into different directions with different people if it's afflicted. improve this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green, green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay. Then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids, which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, five kids which are female, right? Which like five, at least five female kids which are less than 9 year old, less than 9 year old. You do Kanya Pujan, like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga. They do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least five female kids which are less than 9 year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil, sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil, sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot, a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9 year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them. And yeah, so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay, let's talk about Mercury in the 6th house. So what's going to happen when Mercury is placed into the 6th house? So first of all, what does Mercury represent? Mercury is the planet of your intelligence. It's the planet of intellect. It represents your siblings, younger sibling, friends, neighbors, even to some extent, right? Although that is more like a 3rd house stuff. Mercury is your communication skills, sales, media, marketing abilities, and 1,000 other things you can see from the Mercury. And what does 6th house represent? 6th house is the houses of your enemies, is the house of your debts, is the house of diseases. Okay, and it's the house which is also important for money making actually. So what's going to happen when a planet like Mercury is placed into the 6th house? So what you can expect? So see, when Mercury is in the 6th house, first of all, it brings it brings you a life where your life purpose is connected to problem solving. Your life purpose can be connected to health or providing any kind of a service. Okay, and even communication in daily life. These things could somehow play an important role. You're so, like for an example, even if you are jeweler and you have Mercury in the 6th house, so their communication will play an important role, right? How you just negotiate, deal with your clients, I mean your buyers. Here the Mercury, when placed in the 6th house, your sole mission is to use intellect to resolve conflict, to heal, and to guide others through your logic and practical solutions. The placement of Mercury in the 6th house often indicate that you are here in this planet to learn humility through service. Your communication skill you must use, due to which you can work even in the field like medicine, law, analysis of some kind, or even social work. Mercury in the sixth house can even show that your life purpose involve creating order. Okay. Uh, Also, you will see, especially in the work environment, creating order can be seen. And even I would say with Mercury in the sixth house, it definitely going to give you a very sharp analytical thinking. Okay, but I have seen these people have this tendency to overthink a lot. Although they have sharp analytical thinking, but they could also overthink a lot. Mercury in the sixth house show that you could be excellent at handling details, documentation, and even research. Mercury in the sixth house show your communication style can be very blunt but can be very precise. In the sixth house show you must have to use your intellect to heal people. Okay, you should not criticize other people here. You should actually use your intelligence or intellect to deal to even heal someone in their life. Okay. Career in the field of healthcare, something related to medicines, healthcare, even law, teaching, accounting, human resource, journalism, data analysis generally suit you. But although we have to see other things as well, for that full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, because these people can also go for business. So for that consultation is required. You can purchase from the comment section and description, links is there. You can succeed as a lawyer, astrologer also. I have seen these people can be a good astrologer. And if it's, let's say, Ketu can also, if let's say Ketu also join it, they can even be an astrologer of, like when it comes to health related things, they predict very well. Even in astrology, their health become their field. Like, oh, you could have this disease, this problem, accident, this and that. They predict very well. These people can even become proofreader, counselor of some kind, even editor. Mercury here in the sixth house can often draw you towards animal welfare, environmental activism. Mercury gives a skill in dispute resolution and negotiation. Okay. Mercury in the sixth house also show some work in which you have to do writing, or I would say involvement with accounts related field can give prosperity in your life. Naturally, Mercury in the sixth house I have seen make you a healer through your words. You can be a healer. Okay. You can someone who would like to share information. Okay. And these people could also be the one who is creating the reels related to health. Oh, you should eat this, you should not eat that. These are the benefits of this plant and this and that. You can be the one who can work related to diet, dietitian, yoga related professions, or even work for alternative medicines like Ayurveda. Okay. Mercury, when it plays in the sixth house, you need to be careful regarding your nervous system, regarding your health, and even to some extent digestion. But especially nervous system and skin related problems can be there depending upon how other things are playing a role in your chart. I've also seen these people sometime would like to educate people regarding wellness and work life balance and such topics. Mercury in the sixth house can also show that your marriage life may involve meeting a spouse in workplace or through some service related activities. Okay, that can possible. Future spouse could be practical, intelligent, and organized, health conscious. Okay, and if let's say this Mercury is playing like connection with seventh Lord of Dharakarka, then spouse could be logical, talkative, youthful. Okay, but of course we have to see other things as well. For that, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. If you want to purchase that, links are in comment section and description. If Mercury is afflicted here in the sixth house, then argument in the marriage with the partner can be seen here. Marriage require learning to manage criticism and perfectionism. Okay. Spouse could also be related to teaching, communication background, medical field, teacher, professor. Okay. Then Mercury in the sixth house, sometime you will feel like Your home life is very structured, disciplined, and focused on duty, right? You will see Mercury in the sixth house can even make you the problem solver of your family. Mercury in the sixth house show that your relationship with maternal relatives may be significant for life lessons. Okay. Mercury in the sixth house show that your siblings may help in career or marriage connections. Mercury in the sixth house also show that communication in family life must be handled with care to avoid misunderstanding. I have also seen generally with Mercury in the sixth house, these people are often skilled in mathematics, law, languages, research related subject, calculations, right? So at least one of these fields they could have some expertise or they can be good at. They can become excellent teachers or trainers of some kind. Mercury in the sixth house also show that your education may involve breaks due to health or even family responsibility. Your life purpose can also be maybe you could do something in which you are just mentoring others with your practical skills. Like for an example, you learn astrology, and then after some years or maybe let's say 20, 30 years, there is a young boy or a girl come to you and they start to learn from you, so you just guide them, teach them, and whenever they get problem they ask you, hey, what do you think about it? So yeah, that can be seen. And sometimes it's not necessary these people will even take money for certain things. They even do it for free as well. I have seen that as well. But although they earn money from different sources, right? So yeah, that can be seen. Although they can take it as well, because yeah. Mercury in the sixth house also show that your purpose of life include learning detachment from ego while serving others. Mercury in the sixth house also show you must balance marital duties and spiritual growth both. Mercury in the sixth house also show that you are here to heal karmic debts through honest work and integrity. Okay. Mercury in the sixth house can also show that if you provide some kind of a services or service based business can even be a better option for you. Okay. Generally it give you ability to manage finances well, but you must avoid over analysis of investment. Speculation is not favored unless Mercury is strong. And also gains often comes through hard work, not shortcut. You will also see that with Mercury in the sixth house. Mercury, when afflicted here, I have seen certain things common. It give you constant overthinking, especially when it's afflicted, criticism, and lot of worry about different thing. There can be mental debates in the marriage, due to which marriage may have some problems. But of course, if it's well placed, then these people can even deal with it. Like for example, I have seen the guys with Mercury in the sixth, and the wife is getting angry, and they are like in a funny way, hey darling, I'm just coming, baby, I love you. Right? The way they just deal the situation, sometimes it's really impressing. The wife is angry and the boy is like very, because Mercury also give you that funny abilities, right? So then the wife will, yeah, I've seen this is really a great way to deal with in your married life if you have problem. The way, so that is really a great thing. Wife is angry and you are just in a humorous way, you just try to influence her and then she laugh, and then that can also be seen. But the problem occur when, let's say, Mercury is in the sixth house, highly afflicted, and Mars is also playing a dominant role in your chart. Wife is angry and you are also getting angry, then there will be a lot of problem, right? Heated debates can be seen in that case. Although for that you have to see all the things. And as I mentioned earlier, nervousness, anxiety, nerves related issues can also be seen sometime with Mercury in the sixth. Then sometime I've seen problem related to neighbors, co-workers, right? Or even relatives to some extent can be there if Mercury is afflicted here or weak. Remedies you can do. So for Mercury in the 6th, you should, if you find somewhere green parrots in the park or anywhere you can go. So you have to give green chilies to the green parrot, especially give 6 green chilies on Wednesday to a green parrot. At least 6 green chilies on Wednesday give to a parrot so that he can eat it or she can eat it, like green parrot, and do it on Wednesday. Okay, probably 6 Wednesday at least. So it will give you positive results. Never do false promises or gossip about someone. If you do that, then your Mercury will get badly afflicted here. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green, green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay, then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, you do Kanya Pujan. Like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga, they do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings and give them something to eat to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil, sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil, sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them, and so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay, this is all about Mercury is in the 6th house. If you want personal consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about Mercury in the 7th house. So when Mercury is placed into the 7th house, so first of all, what does 7th house represent? So 7th house represent a lot of things, including your marriage, your spouse. 7th house also represent your partnership. It is the house of sexual relationship. It is the house of legal agreement. It is the house of public relations. Okay, it is the house of contracts, agreement. It is the house of business partnerships. Okay, and 1,000 other things can be seen from the 7th house. Now when a planet which is Mercury, which represent intellect, which represent intelligence, which represent your neighbors, which represent your younger siblings in a way, which represent travel, little bit, communication, learning, technology, especially the media, etc. Your siblings, friends, your ability to adapt as per different situation, your speech and humor. When such planet Mercury is placed into the 7th house, so first of all you will see somehow the person who have this placement, their life purpose revolve around relationship and communication with partnership. Such a person who have Mercury in the 7th house, such person learn karmic lessons through marriage, contracts, or interpersonal bonds. The life path of such person is strongly connected to negotiation, diplomacy, and even I would say balance in communication. Mercury in the 7th house show your marriage become a mirror to understand one's intellect or ego. Right, you will see that. Mercury in the 7th house also show that your spouse is often intelligent, very youthful, and witty and playful type of person. Okay, generally you will see very intelligent type of partner you would get. Okay. Now the marriage partner may be from academic, business, or communication background, or maybe things like chartered accountant, banking sector, or something in which he have to deal with a lot of contracts, paperwork. That can be seen. Right? There can be intellectual debates in the marriage, even arguments, especially the intellectual one, discussions. Spouse can be younger in age or maybe look younger, even if the spouse is older generally. Until or unless some other planets are playing their role, you will generally see this thing. Also with Mercury in the 7th house, married life become the key area. Okay, where you learn adaptability and compromise also. Mercury in the 7th house can also give multiple relationship in the life. Right? To you it can also give multiple relationship. Right? That can be seen. Mercury in the 7th house also show that spouse could be very skilled in writing, media, teaching, marketing, trade. The purpose of marriage with Mercury in the 7th house is not just emotional connection but also intellectual companionship. You will also see that when Mercury, especially when Mercury is afflicted, okay, when benefics are placed into the 7th house, so spouse will help you in career, okay, business, growth, or even in public image. You will also see when you have Mercury in the 7th house, your marriage will teach you somehow, like you will learn how to balance logic and emotions, I would say, with marriage. Now let's say if there are multiple, like see 1,000 possibilities are there. For an example, let's say if Mercury is with the Venus in the 7th, so marriage can be beautiful, artistic, financially stable partner. But in this case, maybe you yourself could have desire for multiple love affairs, etc. That can be seen in your chart because its placement is so your mentality it can give you until other placements are supporting this. But yeah, naturally because Mercury Venus in the 7th house try to, the person likes to have just fun. Then Mercury is with the Jupiter in the 7th. Your spouse can be very wise, spiritual, a guide like figure you can expect, who is like a teacher, a guide like person, always giving you advices. If Mercury is with Rahu in the 7th house, well, you will have a very unusual type of partner, very eccentric in lifestyle type of partner, can be a foreigner or from different culture, different background. Mercury Rahu in the 7th house, whether you will be manipulative or your spouse could be manipulative. Let's say Mercury is with the things to you yourself, like to the person who have this combination in their life. Now see, strong potential for career in the law, in the business consulting for yourself, right? In the marketing, in the public relation, writing, trade, teaching, media, doing podcast, journalism, all these things can be seen. If you have Mercury in the 7th house, you can go into these fields. The purpose of the life with person who have Mercury in the 7th house, your purpose of life is to use intelligence in partnership and agreements. You will also see when you have Mercury in the 7th house, you can succeed in business, partnership rather than working alone. So you should try to do partnership. Actually, if you are a male, generally, regardless of gender, Mercury in the 7th house is a good placement. But especially if you are a male, you have Mercury in the 7th house, it is really a great placement. because the person who's going to get married to you, that girl will get benefit a lot. And also the people who try to, when you try to do contract or business related, but of course full horoscope consultation is required. But when you do partnership, etc., the person who will come with you, they start to get success also, because it's a magic touch with Mercury in the 7th house. So if a boy have this placement, it is like, even the girl, I would say, but because Mercury represent, there are certain signification, that's why I said boy. Even the girl have, whenever someone attach, I have seen this Mercury in the 7th house, whenever someone attach with these people, it's a good for that person as well, because this person will if it's this Mercury is giving positive result, this person is helpful for themselves as well as for others as well, like, I mean, this Mercury placement. Then I would say this Mercury in the 7th house also show that you can become successful lawyer. You can become some kind of a negotiator. Okay, you can become some kind of a diplomat. You can become marriage counselor. Okay, so all these things can be seen. When you have Mercury in the 7th house, public dealing is your karmic duty. Okay, and your life purpose involves serving society through your communication. You will also see that when Mercury is in the 7th house, you will rise in life after you get married, because your spouse bring opportunities, network, financial growth, right? The 7th house is also the house of audience, and Mercury here give influence over people through speech. Okay, so you will also see that. You are natural advisor, right? You are naturally a mediator. Whenever there's like a war is going on, and you are like, oh, well, I am the one who can solve this war, right? I want, just, so yeah, that can I see. And also you will see that you can settle disputes. And, if you even go into the profession where you are just like a mediator, this is also a great placement. You see, in India, especially in the villages, there used to be a like Gram Pradhan or Sarpanch or something like that. Like there are certain people, certain family, and there's like a father of someone who always go into the someone's disputes and someone argument and someone fight and someone's war, for an example. And when this guy came, the people will listen his order, although he's nothing, but people would like to listen his order because he's respected in that village or in that area. So yeah, people will say, okay, he said it, okay, we will compromise and let's just stop this fight dispute. So that is the kind of a placement this Mercury in the 7th house is. It's going to give you the spatial ability. Then Mercury here give a restless mind in relationships. Okay, you will see that. You always seek newness and excitement in the relationship. That's why I said when Venus Mercury in the 7th, you would like to love, like, these people always like something new, something. So the karmic lesson here, when you have Mercury in the 7th house, the karmic lessons is to learn commitment and depth instead of staying on the surface. Whenever you have Mercury in the 7th house, you may overthink about spouse, you may overthink about marriage, which can sometimes lead to stress. Okay? Mercury in the 7th house also show that your life purpose is to balance rational logic with emotional intimacy. You will also see that when you have Mercury in the 7th house, you may attract partner who mirror your internal habit and communication style. Mercury when placed in the 7th house, you will also see that your communication issue can become the biggest cause of any conflict in your marriage. So whenever there is a conflict, maybe you speak a lot, maybe you create problem. So yeah, that can be an issue. So you have to be careful in terms of communication. Let's say there's a fight argument, just try to stop for some time and then things will resolve. When you have Mercury in the 7th house, you will also see that, spiritually, I would say the purpose of your life is to realize that marriage is not only an intellectual satisfaction but also a soul level bonding. Okay? Mercury when placed into the 7th house Sometime you could met your spouse in college, at workplace, while traveling, or even in some kind of a business deal. That can possible. Although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. Mercury in the 7th house also shows spouse will be very talkative, curious, witty. Sometime could have a childish nature. You may marry someone from, I would say, like maybe let's say you are doing some communication based work and you met there. So you could marry that person. That can also possible. Sometime Mercury in the 7th house can also give you a spouse who can be very skilled in languages, communication, trade, IT. That can be seen. Even if let's say they are a bank manager for an example. So they are doing a lot of business dealings on the behalf of bank because they are doing a job of manager, right? So they are meeting people, right, and all that stuff. So that can be seen. Then you can also see Mercury in the 7th house. If there's a problem in marriage, that it is most likely happen because of over analysis, gossip, and interference of third parties. That can be seen. If Mercury is afflicted highly, then there can be misunderstanding between you and your spouse. Okay, that can also be seen. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green, green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay, then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, you do Kanya Pujan. Like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga, they do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil, sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil, sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them, and so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay, so yeah, this is all about Mercury in the 7th house. If you want personal consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about Mercury in the 8th house. So first of all, what does 8th house represent? So 8th house is the house of, house of hidden knowledge. It is the house in which we deal with the hidden information. Like for an example, you are working in secret services. You are working in a services intelligence where you have to deal with hidden information. You have to go on secret mission. 8th house also represent things which are buried under the earth. So mining, etc. can also be seen from the 8th house. 8th house is other people's money. So investment banking, I would say I also seen from this place. Anything which you have to deal with other people's money. And also 8th house is like data science, data analysis, astrology, occult, tantra, everything. These things are, all the taboos are in 8th house. Then uh, and thousand other things you can see. And also a transformation in your life is also 8th house. So what will going to happen, which is the when the planet which is Mercury, which represent your friend, sibling, intellect, logic, communication, technology related to media, etc., gadgets, siblings, friends, your ability to adapt as per different situation, speech, humor, etc., such planet is placed in the 8th house. So you will see such placement make the purpose of your life revolve around deep understanding, okay, research, occult, healing, uncovering hidden truth. At the same time, because 8th house also represent marital bond, especially with the in-laws, joint wealth, and spouse resources. So Mercury here strongly influence your marriage and future spouse related matters. You will see when you have Mercury in the 8th house, your purpose of life is to transform through knowledge and communication. You are curious about death, life after death, hidden forces of nature. You will see such people whenever Dashanta Dasha such hit. They always think about these things like astrology, etc., tantra, or things like what happened after death, why this planet is like that, what will going to happen, why there are supernatural forces, oh, what is there beyond the sky, and these things they always somehow it will came in their mind at certain point. You are a person who would like to decode mysteries of the life, whether it's astrology, whether it's psychology, tantra, occult, or any hidden sciences. You would like to do that. You would like to decode the secrets, the mysteries. Mercury in the 8th house give you a very deep communication style. It give you investigative and probing type of style. You will see that whenever you have Mercury in the 8th house, you never take things at face value. Okay? Mercury in the 8th house show your purpose of life is to become a messenger of hidden wisdom. Okay? That can also be seen. Mercury in the 8th house makes, it give you a spouse, I would say, who could have intellect, witty, but a bit secretive as well. Even you yourself can be a bit secretive with this. Your married life may involve sudden or karmic event. Okay? Destiny driven circumstances. Your spouse can have sharp intellect, but sometimes dual nature can also be seen. Also, Mercury in the 8th house show there can be misunderstanding in communication. Okay? Especially in marriage matters, there can be misunderstanding. So your purpose of life is to learn clear and honest expression here when you have Mercury in the 8th house. Also show, let's say if this Mercury, especially if afflicted, so your spouse can be a little bit immature or overly critical. Okay? Although of course we have to see all the things like 7th Lord, Darakarka and other planets, lot of things, but still like this can be possible. If Mercury is strong, so spouse could be a source of wisdom, wealth, and deep spiritual growth in your life. You may even marry into a family like that have secrets, wealth from inheritance, or occult related, someone having occult related background in your spouse family. I mean, Mercury in the 8th house also show the purpose of life, the purpose of marriage here is transformation, especially in your communication. Okay? And also learning trust with your spouse. You will also see that there can be, but for foreign connection, if let's say there should be other role, but there can be sudden financial gain, in your life, especially somehow connected to your spouse, or maybe sudden or deep research oriented things you will do in your life after your spouse. Okay? or through your spouse somehow. You will also find with this placement, you can even meet your spouse through research work, occult practices, secret environments. That can possible. Although for that we have to see other things as well. For that, full horoscope consultations is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description. You can purchase from there. Mercury in the 7th house also show that your marriage teach you to balance logic with emotion and trust. Mercury in the 8th house also show that your future spouse can be a bit curious, sometimes talkative but secretive. Okay, especially in personal matter, but then it have to make connection with the 7th or Dharakarka, etc. Then it may become more strong in terms of spouse. Okay, spouse could have things like financial skill, accounting, research, insurance, banking, psychology, astrology related work. Okay. Spouse could be belong to a family where hidden money, inheritance, or maybe property dispute can exist. Your spouse can also be interested in occult, astrology, healing arts, spiritual practices that can possible with this placement. You will also see that here with Mercury in the 8th house, your purpose of life somehow become your purpose of life with Mercury in the 8th is to use marriage as a path of transformation, learning how to decode each other's secrets. Mercury in the 8th house often make you skilled in research, investigation, auditing, forensic sciences, psychology, occult, insurance and banking. You will also see with Mercury in the 8th house, your purpose of life can also be in dealing with other people's money, like joint assets, tax, wealth management. So you can be into tax department, auditing, research, forensic sciences, psychology, occult sciences, astrology, etc. Even you can be in finance sector, banking sector. So you can earn money, make money through these things. Also, you will see that inheritance or spouse wealth could play a very important role in your life. Okay, with Mercury in the 8th house. You will also see that with Mercury in the 8th house, you can also earn money through writing, like blog, etc. Or somehow writing books or anything. Through writing, you will do some work in which you have to do writing, paperwork. Even through research of any kind. Or trading in hidden goods can give you money. Okay. Mercury in the 8th house also show that your life purpose is to understand life, death, rebirth and transformational cycle. You will naturally drawn towards these things. Mercury in the 8th house make your mind very sharp, especially in occult, tantra, jyotish, mysticism. Spiritual growths come through sharing hidden knowledge with others when you have Mercury in the 8th house. Mercury in the 8th house naturally make you psychologist, detective, astrologer, healer. You can be a fan of Sherlock Holmes, right? That can be seen. Mercury here, give you an indication that you would like to break the taboos of the family. You don't like you would like to break the taboo. Like, oh, this is our ritual and you have to follow it. You are like, no, I'm not going to follow it. I'm going to question it. And if I find it practical, then only I will follow it. You will question social beliefs. You will question taboos. You will question social belief and you will break taboos with Mercury in the 8th house if you have. Mercury in the 8th house can even give you issues related to nervous system. This is the main problem. Anxiety, skin related problem and even digestion. But any nerve related problem, nervous system, anxiety, veins. So you have to be a bit careful in these matters when you have Mercury in the 8th house. I will tell you the remedies. You should do it, although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. You will also see that health issue is often connected with stress, with overthinking and hidden fears whenever you have Mercury in the 8th house. Whenever you have Mercury in the 8th house, your longevity is influenced by how well you balance your logical mind with spiritual acceptance. You will see with Mercury in the 8th house, your purpose of life include learning to trust the divine process instead of over analyzing things. Mercury in the 8th house also show that communication with the spouse and your in-laws is karmically destined to transform your life. You will also see when you have Mercury in the 8th house, you must avoid any gossip about someone. You should avoid manipulation or you should avoid dishonesty. Otherwise, at certain point, these things will backfire in your life. So you have to be very careful. Mercury in the 8th house show that past life karma involve hidden dealings with wealth secrets or occult misuse you have done in your life that can possible. So don't do these negativity with anyone, at least in this life. Mercury in the 8th house show your purpose of life is to use Mercury intelligence for healing, not for manipulation. Try to use this power for to heal someone, to gain some good karma, not to manipulate and to accumulate bad karma. No, you should not have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. Mercury in the 8th house also show you must learn to channel curiosity towards constructive wisdom. Mercury in the 8th house definitely give you sudden changes in your life, especially due to your speech or intellect. Okay. Here one good remedy is, although I will tell you all the remedies, but the one good remedy you should always remember is always keep your promises. Whenever someone have Mercury in the 8th house, and let's say you give someone a promise and then you break that promise, believe me, the moment you break the promise, the Mercury is going to give you bad results now. And never speak bad thing for other, ill things for other. Oh, you will have this thing, you fucker, you die, you this, that, you no. You shouldn't have to say those things to anyone. Whenever you have Mercury in the 8th house, speak good things about others. If you promise someone, fulfill this promise. If you can't if you feel that I cannot fulfill, then don't do the promise. This is really important. Believe me, Mercury in the 8th house, it's really important remedy. It's a very practical, and I'm telling you, it's very powerful. Right? Always never say some bad things about anyone. Always try to speak with positivity and give positive blessings to others, and also keep your promises. Never break your promises. This will definitely improve your Mercury. Then what are the other things you can do? Then you should never deal with hidden money, black dealings. You know what I mean. You should not go towards that path in terms of money, doing negative stuff, hidden dealings. Otherwise you can face certain problem with this Mercury. You have to be very careful. Okay. You will see with Mercury in the 8th house, somehow your purpose of life involve, or I would say revolve around to decode mysteries and hidden truth of life, to transform marriage through communication and trust. Use intellect for spiritual growth, healing and guiding others. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green grass, green chara. In India you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay, then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which at least 5 female kids which are less than 9 year old. You do Kanya Pujan, like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga. They do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings and give them something to eat, to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9 year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot, a lot.
Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center, or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year-old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationary item, just give them, and yeah, so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy, okay?
This is all about Mercury in the 8th house. If you want personal consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. When Mercury is placed into the 9th house, first of all, what does now 9th house represent? 9th house is the house of dharma, higher learning, long distance travel, foreign travels, especially like the long distance is connected to foreign, and then even in your home country, if you're traveling for long distance, that is 9th house. It is the house of your father, guru, dharma, religion. Okay, it is the house of your bhagya, luck, fortune, spirituality, okay, even pilgrimage, and 1,000 other things can be seen from the 9th house. And what does Mercury represent? Mercury is your sibling. Mercury represent your adaptability, your ability to adapt as per different situation. Mercury represent your communication skills. Mercury sales, media, marketing, all the digital communication is Mercury. So when a planet like that is sitting into your 9th house, so what's going to happen? So Mercury here in the 9th house always engage in philosophy. Okay, so whenever Mercury is in the 9th house, it will encourage you to engage into philosophy, scripture, learning, and questioning tradition. Okay, you will see that these people may question their tradition. Such people you will see who have Mercury in the 9th house, your purpose of life is somehow connected with teaching, guiding others, spreading knowledge, or traveling for higher causes. Okay, due to some reason you may travel to different places. You will spread knowledge, you will teach people, you will guide people. Mercury being the planet of intellect, communication, curiosity, okay, it make you a person who likes to seek for truth, okay, maybe through debate, through logic, through having discussions, you would like to go like find the truth. Okay, you will see with Mercury in the 9th house, your purpose of life revolve around spreading wisdom, teaching, okay, writing, publishing, or even guiding society in some intellectual way. That is what Mercury in the 9th house represent. Okay, then Mercury in the 9th house, if we see a spiritual or dharmic angle, then I have seen that when Mercury is placed in the 9th house, it indicates that you could have interest into Vedic Shastras, mantra, Jyotish, right? The Vedic astrology, the Hindu Vedic astrology, numerology, or even Western astrology, any form of occult you could be into, even tarot, palmistry. Although tarot is basically Rahu, because that is basically intuition based sign. Okay, you are seeing a card and what came in your mind, like that depends upon a lot, right? So also things like palmistry, studying ancient wisdom like Chanakya Niti you are reading, so that can be seen. Such natives you will see who have Mercury in the 9th house can be inclined towards spiritual debates, questioning blind belief. They are like, what the hell? Why are you following these stupid rituals and traditions and riti rivaj and paramparai? Why? Right? We should always question them. Right? That's the kind of argument these people have generally. So when Mercury is in the 9th house, your purpose is not only to follow the dharma but also to interpret it logically and communicate it to others, because ultimately Mercury is the messenger of God. Okay, Mercury has a messenger role. So you will see this. You will see that when you have Mercury in the ninth house, you may play the role of mediator between traditional dharma and modern logic. So these are the people who are like, okay, the astrology say that we have to follow these rituals. Like for an example, as per astrology, we can understand that if we like see, if we help our sister, so Mercury will give us positive results. Okay, that is why in India, when your sister came to your home, you will give them some money, which is called as milai. Okay, you give them a milai, which means a certain amount of money. You give them 500 rupees, you give them $10, $50, $100, like whatever you can afford, basically. Okay, some people give 500 rupees whenever your sister visit your home. You give them some money when they are going back. Okay, so let's say even if sister is married, even if she have less money, lot of money, even if sister is more rich than you, whenever sister came to your home, you give her some money, you give her some gift, basically. What is the reason? Because sister represent Mercury, and when you give some gifts to your sister, Mercury give you blessings, and Mercury is your business intelligence. So Mercury improve in our chart, and that is how we take the wise decision. So this is also a remedy. Okay, do you understand that? So that is why you will see that these people can even play a role of as I said, the mediator between the traditions and the modern logic. So they are the one who is like, okay, these are the rituals from the astrology which make practical sense in the modern world. If you do this, this is how things work out. But at the same time, they also likes to connect the modern logic, which I told you. Okay, also they likes to make some things like, okay, these are the 5-6 point which can be good from the tradition, but all that other stuff are bullshit. Okay, but these are the points that we take from the modern world, and let's combine them, let's make something beautiful and meaningful that at least we can use in this day and age. Okay, you will also see that whenever you have Mercury in the ninth house, your relationship with your father can be very intellectual based. Father may be very knowledgeable person, he could be very scholar type of person, or he could also be very philosophical kind of a person. Okay, you will see that whenever you have Mercury in the ninth house, I have also seen sometime there could be a differences with the father belief system. Okay, and that will lead you to, like, what happen is that generally this person who have Mercury in the ninth house, let's say his father believe in certain way, his father is like, you have to do arranged marriage, for an example. This person is like, no, I hate arranged marriages, I will do love marriage, I have my own philosophy. So that thing can also possible, because if you understand the story of how Mercury get created, Mercury is the illegitimate child of moon. Okay, and if you understand, like, I will not go into the deep and of story over here of Mercury, otherwise this video will be very long. But in simple way, Mercury, and in reality neither Mercury like Jupiter, nor Mercury like his illegitimate father moon. So this is the problem, because Jupiter is kind of a Mercury's mother real husband. So yeah, this is the problem. You will see, that's why in the house of father Mercury here sometimes give you this tendency that you may go against your father, not against, but your belief system can be different from your father. Okay, now if Mercury is afflicted in the ninth house, so your father teaching may feel very confusing or contradictory to you. Okay, that can also be seen. Also with Mercury in the ninth house, your gurus and mentor can play a crucial role. Okay, and your life purpose can be shaped when you get the right guidance from the gurus or the teachers. You will also see that when Mercury is in the ninth house, often these people I have seen, they themselves become some kind of a mentor or teacher or business coach, life coach, or something like that, some kind of a teacher or mentor in their life related to their field. That can also be seen. Mercury in the ninth house can bless you with the career connected to education, writing, publishing, travel industry. Let's say you are traveling to different country, you are traveling to Dubai, you are traveling to Singapore, and you are traveling to USA, Los Angeles, Switzerland, you are traveling to Switzerland, maybe you are traveling to maybe Russia, maybe Finland, You are going there to see northern lights, and then you decide, okay, I will start my travel agency or travel company. That can be seen. Or even some profession related to media or religious institution, that can also be seen. Maybe you start your own education institute and you are teaching their people crypto trading, or maybe finance, how to make this money, and finance related education you are teaching. So that can also be possible here. Then you will also see with Mercury in the ninth house, you may become a translator of ancient wisdom into modern form. Like for an example, there is a story of ancient story, but the way you tell that story to the people, you will connect that to the modern form, so that people is like, wow, this guy has explained things very well. Okay. So yeah, that can also be seen. That's why sometime these people can also be connected to writing books, or writers, bloggers, or even running. These people can even run YouTube channel, or can become TikTokers as well, or YouTubers. Okay, that can also be seen. You will also see the purpose of life of these people is somehow also connected to spreading wisdom globally, or travel to long distance places, foreign travels. That can be seen. Your career can involve international trade, communication across border, or working in foreign culture with Mercury in the ninth house. If Mercury is exalted or very strong or very powerful aspects are there with the ninth house, then your purpose may be to unite people through knowledge and dialogue. Okay. I have also seen one more thing. Whenever Mercury is in the ninth house, if these people is working in a positive way, these people can somehow start to earn from early age in comparison to other. They start to do something, like they start a YouTube channel maybe in the very young age, or they start to teach someone something, become teacher. That's how they start to earn. They start to provide website services, anything they can earn like that. Okay. Now if you count from the 7th house, ninth house is 3 houses away. 7, 8, 9. That's how the ninth house is 3 houses away from the 7th. So you will see that when Mercury is in the ninth house, Mercury here show that your spouse could play a key role in your intellectual growth. Okay. And even boosting your courage. So, and even through your spouse, maybe your communication somehow improve. That can be seen. You will also see with Mercury in the ninth house, spouse may be very philosophical, very well educated, and even connected to some dharmic or spiritual background. That can be possible. If Mercury is very strong, then spouse may help you to understand foreign culture, religion, wisdom, all these stuff. But then of course, for that full horoscope consultation is required. Of course, you can purchase that. Links are in description, because overall you have to see other things like 7th lord, how this Mercury is connected to 7th lord, Dhara Karka or Venus, etc., or Mars or Jupiter. That's how you came to know the other picture. Okay. Also, you will see with Mercury in the ninth house, your marriage purpose somehow, you will see your union of marriage become a platform of sharing ideas, traveling, exploring higher knowledge together with your spouse. That can also be seen. Sometime if that, let's say Mercury is your 7th lord or connected to 9th or 12th or Rahu, then spouse can also be of different culture, different religion, long distance place. Spouse can also be seen. I have also seen with this, if let's say it's again connected to your marriage house, or like 7th lord, or Dhara Karka, then spouse could be very logical, witty, talkative kind of a person who will bring freshness into marriage. That can be seen. And in that case, marriage could play a very important communication will play a very important role in marriage. Okay, without communication, misunderstanding will be there. So it's always, communication you should keep as the center of your marriage. Your spouse may come into your life, maybe during travel you could meet her or him, or maybe due to education you could meet your partner, maybe through media, social media, maybe through religious environment. These things can be seen. Your future spouse could be teacher, guide, or someone connected to law, education, or philosophy. If Mercury is afflicted, however, in the ninth house, then spouse can be sometimes overly critical, argumentative, create confusion in belief systems. Right? You will also see when Mercury is in the ninth house, your future spouse may have youthful look when these connections are going on with the 7th or Dhara Karka. Charming personality, a quick-witted person. Spouse could be younger in age, or even if older, they have youthful energy. Like, you see, some people, even if I've seen a guy who is 42-year-old and looks like 30, I was like, what? You are 42? And then I see the chart. Mercury is in the first house. Okay, that's the energy of Mercury. Okay, that's the ability of Mercury, because first house is definitely make your look younger. But here we are talking about Mercury in the ninth house, which means if it's connected to your spouse, they could have such energy. So also with Mercury in the ninth house, your spouse may love reading, writing, traveling, or intellectual debates, especially if it's connected to seventh or Dharakarka, etc. Spouse will also, you will also see if this Mercury is connected to Venus or Jupiter, your spouse may be also connected to teaching, law, publishing, or counseling of some kind. You will see in your married life there is a very strong chances that married life involve a lot of travel, pilgrimage, long distance journeys with your spouse. You will become a couple who may explore different philosophies, spiritual path, cultural practices together. Your spouse may challenge your beliefs, but ultimately enriches your worldview. If Mercury is very strong, then marriage will bring luck and fortune in your life. If it's afflicted, then of course there can be some arguments as well. Now, what are the remedies that you can do for this Mercury in the ninth house? Let me share that. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green, green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay, then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, less than 9-year old. You do Kanya Pujan, like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga. They do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil, sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil, sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot, a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item. Just give them, and yeah, so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay, this is all about Mercury in the ninth house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. And now let's talk about Mercury in the 10th house. Okay, let's talk about Mercury in the 10th house. So if you have Mercury in the 10th house, first of all, what does 10th house represent? 10th house is the house of government. 10th house is also the house of your profession. 10th house is the house of your career, profession. It is the house of your karma. It is the house of authority and status. It is the house of achievement. It is the house of leadership. It is the house of your public image. It is the house of your relationship with the government. Okay, it is the house of your ambition and goal, and 1,000 other things can be seen from the 10th house. And what does the Mercury represent? Mercury is the planet which represent your ability to have communication, your ability to adapt as per different situation. Mercury represent your Mercury is your communication skills. Okay, Mercury is your youthfulness. Okay, and lot of other things can be seen from the Mercury. Now, what's going to happen when a planet like Mercury is placed here in the 10th house? Mercury, when placed in the 10th house, it shows that it connect your purpose of life to share your knowledge with the society and leave a mark through your communication. You will see, when you have Mercury in the 10th house, you are born to influence the masses through your speech, through your writing, through your teaching, or through your business. Okay, you will see that. Mercury in the 10th house show your dharma is to use intellect in practical work rather than just philosophy. Okay, you will also see, when Mercury is placed in the 10th house, somehow your intellect, intelligence, education, or media, these things somehow play a key role in your uh, like in your profession. You are destined to bring innovation and adaptability into your professional field when you have Mercury in the 10th house. Mercury in the 10th house show that your purpose of life revolve around being a bridge between people and ideas. Mercury in the 10th house often give multitasking nature. You will also see that your life purpose includes juggling multiple roles. Okay, Mercury in the 10th house also show that you may spread youthful energy into your career, influencing younger generation. Okay, so it also show that maybe you do certain work which can influence the youth. Okay, Mercury in the 10th house give you a life mission to create a legacy in communication, trade, writing, astrology, journalism, technology, even trade and commerce, banking sector, finance, that can also be seen, especially if sun is connected with Mercury. Then you will see these people can even enter into finance industry, finance sector, finance ministry, working in financial sector, any house, banking, etc. That can be seen. Now, if Mercury is in the 10th house, you will see somehow you will you can gain success in writing, journalism, communication, marketing, IT, trade, accounting, law, teaching, astrology, etc. These are the people who can, let's say, enter into the field of marketing and they can make a lot of money in that. But then let's say if other dashas are running, so you will see that they can also switch from marketing to finance as well. That can be seen, or maybe to other fields like communication related or media. That can be seen. Okay, for that, of course, full horoscope consultation is required. Links are in comment section and description. Also, you will see with Mercury in the 10th house, you can even succeed into business and entrepreneurship due to your sharp intellect. Or it can also possible with Mercury in the 10th house. Let's say you are a bank officer or something, and you are dealing with people or big businesses with, very good amount of business who have turnover good, and you are providing them loan. Okay, you will also see with Mercury in the 10th house, your public speaking, debating, and diplomacy are strong careers for you. Okay, with Mercury in the 10th house, you may become spokesperson or advisor to higher authorities. That can also be seen, right? Like you will see with Mercury in the 10th house, maybe if it's well placed, your bosses or your higher authority people will get inspired, will take advices from you. They're like, hey, what do you think about this thing? Okay, although you are junior, but they're like, hey, what do you think about, what's your opinion? So they likes to take that when you have a good Mercury over here. Mercury give you a very good reputation through intellect. Okay, so your social status depend upon your intelligence. Okay, generally you will see that these people, if its Mercury is well placed, the people will say, oh my god, this guy is very intelligent. Okay, and I've also seen sometime when it's well placed, even when their parents visit somehow to the offices of such people, so the officers are like, oh my god, your son is amazing, he is a genius guy, he's intelligent. They get like that appreciation. If Mercury is exalted, okay, in the 10th house, which means Mercury is in the Virgo in the 10th house, which is going to happen for Sagittarius ascendant. Okay, then you can even reach at top corporate or government role. Okay, you have this ability to reach at the top of some place. But especially for government, although this Mercury alone can take you, but then sun support is generally required. But yeah, still alone can also take you. If Mercury is, let's say, debilitated in the 10th house, then there can be confusion in career, or there can be frequent changes in the career can be there, or you may see that there may be lack of clarity in your um, like your profession, that can be seen. Mercury in the 10th house can also give you career in astrology, palmistry, numerology, like numerology, or even counseling of some kind. Okay, you will see Mercury in the 10th house show your purpose of life is to share knowledge practically, not just in a theoretical way. I've also seen when Mercury is there in the 10th house, you can become a person in the office whom with people likes to learn a lot. They are like, sir, can you please help me? Hey, can you please help me? And then this guy is telling them, oh, this is how you operate this software. Oh, this is how you do this is how you do that. Okay. And even I've also seen, even if this guy is like some important role with Mercury in the 10th house, maybe they are, let's say they are working in some company. So somehow along with their work, they could be dealing with the renovation, marketing sector, advertisement related work. Maybe somehow they get these department easily. Okay, that I've also seen, or maybe media related, Mercury related field somehow come in their life because planet shows significance, right? Your purpose of life is to share knowledge practically, not just in a theoretical way when you have Mercury in the 10th house. Okay. Now, because Mercury is a planet which has changing ability, like Mercury likes to, it's a curious, inquisitive type of person it make you. So when it's in the 10th house, these people are like restless in career. So maybe they see a lot of changes in their departments, in their profession, or change in the job, change in career can also be expected. Mercury in the 10th house show marriage partner may be connected to the career or workplace, especially when this Mercury is somehow connected to your 7th lord or Dharakarka, or somehow make connection with Jupiter, Venus. Of course, for that full horoscope consultation is required. Links are in comment section and description. You can purchase from there, but still you see that. Your future spouse can also be from professional circle, office, business, or government setup, especially as I mentioned earlier. If Mercury is somehow making connection with the 7th lord of Dharakarka, then it's more strong. Okay. You will also see that spouse is generally intelligent, witty, youthful, business minded, or talkative type of person when Mercury is playing connection there. You will also see that if this connection is going on, then marriage can even boost your career or career growth somehow. Okay. Sometime in this case, with when 7th lord is your Mercury here and it's well placed in the 10th, then spouse could also be your business partner. Okay, spouse generally can be very practical and career oriented with here, like with this placement, and come from intellectual background, that can also be seen. If it's afflicted, then spouse can be a little bit critical, dual minded. Communication issues can be there, communication gap between you and a spouse, right? That can be seen. But if in a positive way, it's connected to the 7th, so spouse can be youthful, slim, talkative, very expressive type of hand they have. They show a lot of hand gesture while talking. That can be seen. Spouse could have great ability to, to have business acumen, logical thinking, social good image of spouse. Spouse could be connected to influential network. That can be seen if Mercury is well placed and connected with the 7th or Dharakarka. Also, you will see Mercury in the 10th house. You yourself could have good intellect. You yourself could have good calculation approach, or I would say calculative approach about things in life. These native I have seen generally analyze everything before acting. They are like, okay, this is the situation. That's how we go, and let's make a plan and then let's do it. I would say they are generally a good planners and a good strategist when Mercury is well placed. Sometime I've seen they could also overthink and delay decision because of that, because they likes to make their strategy. Okay. They could have strong adaptability. So I've also seen they can manage multiple role. Like for an example, as I mentioned earlier, this guy is working in some company, and let's say he's at some senior role, At the same time, he's also managing the other department of that same company. So that can be seen because Mercury is multitasking. Okay, in the 10th, it can give you something like that. Generally, these people work as a mediator in some conflict. So let's say even in office there's some conflict at workplace, so they like to mediate thing because Mercury is a mediator. So mediation at workplace can be seen here. Okay. You will also see that they become kind of a guru, teacher, or public guides. Actually, Mercury is not naturally a guru, that's a Jupiter. But Mercury quality is more like a teacher, like teaching the knowledge, sharing what they learn. A curious person who likes to learn new thing and then spread the knowledge about that, or spread whatever learned. So whatever he or she learned. So that is also seen. So maybe they give, people would like to ask certain thing and they likes to share that to other people. Okay, let me just share some remedies. Yeah, this is all about Mercury in the 10th house. If you want to purchase personal consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green grass, green chara. In India you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay, then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, you do Kanya Pujan. Like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga, they do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings and give them something to eat, to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them. And yeah, so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay, Mercury in 11th house. Now what does 11th house represent? 11th house is the house of networking, it is the house of communication, it is the house of social circle, it is the house of like the fulfillment of desire, it is the house of income. Okay, it represents your elder sibling, and 1,000 other things can be seen from the 11th house. Now when a planet like Mercury is placed here in the 11th house, what you can see? You will see these people who have Mercury in the 11th house, they are born to connect with people, they are born to exchange ideas. Okay, they are born to expand their influence through groups, right? The life purpose of these people with Mercury in the 11th house is about sharing knowledge, business, trade, writing, teaching, counseling. Mercury in the 11th house, I have seen, make a person make a person in such a way that they feel like their life is around building social connection that bring financial gain. Yeah, that's why they are building connections. Also, with Mercury in the 11th house, you will see this person who have Mercury in the 11th house, they feel like the purpose of their life is to help others in achieving their dream, and while doing so they also would like to fulfill their desire. That's how their life purpose, or somehow they do try to do something like this. One special thing, let me just tell you about people who have Mercury in the 11th house. I have noticed, you will see, whenever a person have a Mercury in the 11th house, many time they will have this habit of, like, thinking, oh, this person have done some black magic on me, oh, this girl have done black magic on me, oh, I should not eat this white color food or this color food or that sweet or that chocolate from this person hand, because he might chant some mantra and trying to do black magic on me. Oh, I yesterday eat it food or chocolate given by this girl or this person to me, that is why now I fall in, maybe they are doing black magic on me. You will see many time, whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, you naturally get the thought of black magic, like someone has done some negative energy on you. These things somehow get heavy on them so much that I have seen sometime they destroy their relation with many people or even the neighbors on the basis of this false claim. And many times these claims are just their mind, because they naturally feel like that. I have seen this again and again, right? You will see this whenever Mercury is in the 11th, these people naturally they feel like, oh, I have this, someone has done this on me, oh, someone is doing black magic on me, oh, someone is sending negative energy towards me. You will see this. I've seen this again and again. So if you have this problem and you have Mercury in the 11th house, you should try to reduce it down, because most of the time it's your unnecessary fear. You just think too much regarding these things. Okay? In rare cases, yes, certain people who are negative, they can try to do, but they can do it with anyone. But you who have Mercury in the 11th house, you may feel the maximum, and most of the time it's just false. Maybe the guy like who you are thinking is doing black magic on you, is instead of black magic, he's a good guy, or she is a good girl, or that is a nice person who is trying to protect you. But instead of that, you are just trying to unnecessary thinking that is negative on me, right? So yeah, if you have Mercury in the 11th house, try to reduce this thing down, because you have this problem. Mercury in the 11th house pushes you to the career like media, writing, journalism, social media, influencer, politics, advisory, commerce, IT, data related work, okay, or even astrology itself. Whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, your purpose of life can be to manifest through team based work, okay, uh, rather than isolated, I would say self effort, like somehow large organization, network, team would be important. You will see whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, you will succeed in business partnership and startup, because Mercury loves collaboration in 11th house. Okay, so collaboration could be, even if you have a YouTube channel or you are an Instagram or TikToker, in that case you should collaborate. Let's say you have finance related channel, you create finance video like investment in stock market, crypto currency, investment in this, investment in that particular portfolio, this thing. So you should try to do collaboration with another finance related YouTube channel or finance related TikToker or Instagrammer. In that case, you would grow more if you have Mercury in the 11th house. You will find that whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, you will find purpose in bridging connection between different people or industries. Mercury being the planet of logic, okay, because Mercury show our logic and its place in the 11th house, it show that your life mission is to bring intelligence and practical communication into community work. Okay, you will see that. Whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, okay, you will see that Mercury here ensure that money comes through skills, communication, teaching, trade, business, networking. Okay, Mercury in the 11th house show your purpose may be tied to creating multiple stream of income. Okay, Mercury in the 11th house show that your gains are not just financial but also intellect and social respect related. Mercury in the 11th house make you a person who dream a lot. So fulfilling desire become a part of your karmic journey. Okay, you will also see that. Sometime Mercury in the 11th house can give you unexpected financial gain through your siblings, through your friends, or through even your maternal relatives. Okay? Then you will also see Mercury in the 11th house. Your spouse can play a huge role in expanding your social network. Okay? You will also see marriage partner with Mercury in the 11th house can come from friend circle, social group, or through communication platform. Future spouse may be intelligent, witty, talkative, youthful in look regardless of the age. But of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see all this big picture, because in that case, this Mercury have to be connected with 7th house somehow, or maybe Dhara Karka, or maybe Mars, Venus. Then you can understand things better. Okay, so if you want to purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. You will also see Mercury in the 11th house make your spouse a person who motivate you to chase big goals and ambition in life. So your spouse may help you in financial stability, expanding your business, or building strong social image. You know, such planet sometimes show love marriage or marriage through social connections. Your future spouse can belong to friendship turned into love scenario. Now, if this Mercury is afflicted in the 11th house, then there can be delay in marriage. Okay? As you keep over analyzing your partner qualities sometimes. So that could be a problem. Your future spouse may have strong Mercury traits. Like they could be accountant, writer, teacher, business person, analyst of some kind, or social influencer. Like social media influencer, वो TikToker, Instagrammer, or YouTuber, okay? Spouse may also act as a guide in fulfilling your life goals. Okay? With Mercury in the 11th house, you will also see, since 11th house is 5th houses away, like 5 houses away from your 7th house. So if you count from the 7th house, then 11th house is 5 houses away. Okay, so Mercury here can give you intelligent and quick-witted children as well, right? Because it also aspects your 5th house at the same time. So 11th house Mercury also show that you may feel your purpose through nurturing clever children, or even passing knowledge to younger generation. You also feel good with Mercury in the 11th house. Children may bring fame or help parents in your networking if you have Mercury in the 11th house. You will also see, when you have Mercury in the 11th house, your family circle often include educated and business minded relatives. That can also be seen. Whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, your life purpose may include guiding others, guiding younger people, maybe younger sibling, okay, your cousins, or children related. Somehow you guide people like children, etc. You will also see with Mercury in the 11th house, it will give you a youthful personality, friendly and witty, adaptable nature, very witty nature, adaptable nature. Your purpose of life is to build a bridge between people and ideas when you have Mercury in the 11th house. Mercury in the 11th house shows strong skill of humor and light heartedness. Okay? Make you socially popular also. You are naturally storyteller, motivator, okay, and connector when you have Mercury in the 11th house. If Mercury is afflicted, you may struggle with too many desires, overthinking, gossip, or wrong company. Okay? Mercury in the 11th house show your life purpose involve building strong circle of friends who share ideas and values. Okay? Mercury, in the 11th house give you generally many friends until Ketu somehow associate. It give you many friends from school, college, workplace, online platform. They can act as advisor or problem solver
among friends. Your there, Mercury in the 11th house also show your karmic journeys to use your friendship not only for pleasure but also for growth and purpose. Sometime, if let's say you somehow misuses your friends in a negative way, then this Mercury can also make your friends your enemy at later stages of your life, and they will create obstacle as well. That can also be seen. Now, when it comes to the remedies, what remedy can you do over here?
Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay. Then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, you do Kanya Pujan. Like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga, they do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil, sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil, sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot, a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them, and yeah, so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy. Okay,
Mercury in the 11th house, you may feel very fulfilled in your life when you use your ideas, your word, or your writing ability to uplift society. Whenever you have Mercury in the 11th house, always respect your sister and daughter and never create problem for them. So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the 11th house. Now let's talk about Mercury in the 12th house.
So if Mercury is placed in the 12th house in your chart, so with Mercury in the 12th house, what does 12th house represent? First of all, 12th house is the house of isolation. 12th house is the house of hospitals. 12th house represent asylums. 12th house is isolated places, far away, like living in the jungle, in woods, right? Living near beach, in woods, isolated. 12th house in now day and age also represent foreign lands. So now what's going to happen when a planet like Mercury is placed in the 12th house of your chart? The 12th house, it show a mind that work in hidden realms, right? Like subconscious stuff, foreign lands, spirituality, imagination. Okay, so you will see these natives who have Mercury in the 12th house, they often have a strong intuition. They have a generally strong intuition. But these people who have Mercury in the 12th house, even though they have a strong intuition, but sometimes their logical mind get confused in the practical matters. This is a problem with them. These people get attracted to foreign countries, foreign education, settling abroad. Okay, these things naturally can be seen in their life. These people, they have a purpose of their life, like somehow revolve around understanding the unseen, spirituality. These people may feel restless in early life
searching for deeper meaning of purpose. Mercury in the 12th house give these people special research abilities in things like psychology, astrology, occult sciences of any kind, healing, hidden sciences that can be seen. Somehow these people, you will see, their purpose is somehow connected to learn how to balance material and spiritual world. Mercury in the 12th house make you a person who is very observant and very analytical in private but hesitant in public life. Such people you see who have Mercury in the 12th house, they may talk less but think a lot, especially at night. Like at night, they think a lot, right? You will see that. Their mind tends to wander towards daydreaming, imagination, fantasies. Okay? Their purpose is to develop a disciplined mind. So thoughts don't drain their energy, because this is a big problem. Mercury in the 12th house people, their thoughts somehow drain their energy. Okay? And you will also see these people need alone time also to recharge mentally. So they likes to spend alone, like away from people, or maybe sitting alone in some room, right? These people may secretly write diaries, poetry, or even hidden love letters to someone. You will also see Mercury in the 12th house, generally this planet here support these people in foreign trade, multinational company jobs, MNC jobs, spiritual teaching, okay, writing, healing, astrology, working in hospital or some kind of research related work. Many time they will find purpose abroad, or working with foreigners is really important for them. These people can do well in import export, shipping, IT, foreign companies. Okay? Or they could do some work in which they are working behind the scenes. That can be seen. Their purpose can also be connected to, like, with, I would say, helping underprivileged people, doing charity, that can also be seen. The Mercury here in the 12th house give you ability to work in hospital, prison, NGO, monasteries, ashrams. Okay? These people may feel their calling only after late 20s or 30s. Right? That can be seen. Their purpose is to convert their inner knowledge into some service that they can do for others, especially for humanity. That I have also seen. When it comes to marriage related matter, generally their spouse can be, there are chances can be from far away, or from foreign land, or from different culture, and they also try to settle in a foreign country. And marriage can involve some secrecy, some hidden love, long distance relationship before settling down finally. But of course, full horoscope analysis is required, because only then you can analyze the full thing, right? So if you want to purchase consultation, links are in courses and description. Because for these things related to marriage to be more true, this Mercury have to make connection with whether it's Dhara Karka, 7th Lord, Venus, Mars, etc. That's when it become more like true in terms of marriage perspective. Spouse could also be very spiritual, imaginative, artistic, dreamy, especially if it's making connection with these planets which I told you. Sometime your spouse can be introverted, private, or keeps secret also when you have Mercury in the 12th house. Mercury in the 12th house show your purpose of your marriage, okay, is to understand, sacrifice, right, and give unconditional love. Spouse may support you in spiritual growth and foreign settlement also. So if you have other placement, this is also one of those placement where this girl or a boy get married and settle to the husband or wife country. Okay, because generally Mercury in the 12th, so mind is already in the 12th house matter. So they may feel more stable, more away from the homeland. That can also be seen. And let's say this is like a first lord or fourth lord, then even chances more increase if the dasha antardasha hit. Okay. Now this can also mean that you could meet your spouse while you are just flying somewhere, foreign country, hospital, spiritual place, or online places, some hidden communication. Okay. right? Or maybe language exchange related apps that can be seen, right? It also may like Mercury in the 12th house sometime can give delay in marriage or maybe confusion in marriage that can be seen. Like this person is like, oh, she's the one, oh, he's the one, oh, should I marry this girl, or maybe I could find better. So that can also possible. Their relationship may require clear communication, otherwise misunderstanding can occur. Okay, you know uh, if other planets are supporting, then sometime it can also give you a spouse who could be intelligent. Okay, even a healer or counselor of some kind. If let's say their overall chart is well placed, other planet, then their spouse can take them abroad and their lifestyle improve, and they have good wealth as well if dhan yogas are present. Okay, so they could earn more money and finance and all that stuff. Marriage can also be, maybe they do some hidden expense on marriage that can be seen. Okay, this can also show secret love affairs you could have in life. Mercury in the 12th house also shows that your marriage will teach you how to balance between logic and emotion. And sometime I've also seen Mercury in the 12th house, if it's somehow connected with 7th Lord, Dharakarka, Venus, Mars, etc., then your spouse will definitely inspire you to do traveling, to do foreign traveling, to maybe settle near some water place like some lake, like some beach town or something like that can be seen, or some river. Some native may, even I have seen, like this can connect you with work like medical, IT, teaching, spiritual field. That can also be possible. Mercury in the 12th house, the biggest problem I have seen, it will give you an overthinking, insomnia, anxiety, hidden fears. Most of the time when I see someone's chart, and let's say the parent is asking me, hey, my son is like, I see the chart, I was like, your son didn't sleep at night. They're like, oh, he just, didn't sleep. She didn't sleep. Mercury in the 12th house, because constant mind is active. Even sun in the 12th house give you sleepless night, right? So yeah, native may, I would say, waste energy in unnecessary thought. I have seen. Okay, these natives, and even they could have some secret worries like, oh, if I get married and I move to a foreign country, I may miss my home country. But if I keep living here, then I will not able to have the life that I always want to. Oh, should I move there? Should I live there? And they even don't know who they are going to get married. Still they are thinking so much this and that. So yeah, this is like the big problem, because Mercury in the 12th definitely give you. These people must learn how to communicate openly rather than just keeping everything hidden. Sometimes this placement give hidden enemies or gossips in workplace about them. Okay. Financially, you need to be careful. There can be sudden hidden finance related expenses, right? Of course, sorry. So also there can be sudden losses, right, due to some miscommunication, or there can be frauds also possible in your life. So you have to be very careful before you are just trusting on some email, or maybe you are trusting on some phone call or some message. You have to be very careful when you have Mercury in the 12th house, especially communication related. Let's say someone is calling you for some credit card offer or something, and you have Mercury in the 12th house, you have to be very careful. Okay, so yeah, then I would say learning clarity in communication and finance is really important if you have Mercury in the 12th house. Okay, especially in the finance matter, you need to pay attention. Mercury in the 12th house give you an ability to learn meditation, mantra chanting, healing through sounds. That can be seen. Mercury in the 12th house can make you a person who is writing stories by dreaming, right? It can make you psychic, astrologer, tarot card reader, etc. That can be seen. Mercury in the 12th house, remedies also doing charities whenever you can, and praying to good goddess Durga is again a great thing. Prove this Mercury, I would say go and feed cows with something green grass, green chara. In India, you can easily do that. Okay, if you find cow somewhere, give them food, which is especially the green leaves related food. Okay, and especially do that on any day you do. It's really a good idea whenever you can get time. Feed cows with something green. Okay, so yeah, that's really a good remedy for Mercury. Okay,
Then one more great remedy for Mercury is Kanyaon ki seva, which means the girls who are kids which are below 9 years old, right? You find at least, I would say, 5 kids which are female, right? Which like 5, at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old, you do Kanya Pujan. Like people who do who pray to the goddess Durga, they do the Kanya Pujan, which means you on at least, I would say, once in a month you invite them to your home and you just touch their feet, take their blessings, and give them something to eat to at least 5 female kids which are less than 9-year old. Like for an example, you give them some chocolates, you give them some pencil sharpener, right? So you give each of them chocolate and pencil sharpener, some stationery item as well, and touch their feet, take their blessing. That will improve Mercury a lot. Now let's say if it's not possible for you, let's say you live in a certain country or certain area where the girls, like, it's impossible, people will not allow to send their like kids to your home, they don't understand the spiritual perspective, then you can simply do this, that wherever you find on the, maybe on the your city center or where you find some kids, some female kids who are less than 9-year old, with the permission of their parents, you can give them something to eat, or maybe give them something like a kit, pen, pencil, colors, okay, stationery item, just give them, and so that they are happy, right? You have to make them happy, right? So in that way also you get a blessing of Mercury. If you are not able to invite them at your home, then you can also do this particular remedy, okay?
So yeah, this is all about Mercury in the 12th house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description.